Montgomery, Alabama today for college football in the FCS and the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Coach Prime is in the house here today. Deion Sanders, head coach for Jackson State, as they try to go to 4-0 for the first time in 25 years. On the other side, a lot of talent for Alabama State, and they've controlled this series as of late. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings, and will try to pull off the win here today against the Tigers. We welcome you to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. It is Jackson State against Alabama State from ASU Stadium here in Montgomery, Alabama. Good to have you with us, everyone, on this sunny Saturday afternoon. Mike Corey and Jay Walker. All right, Jay, you've seen Jackson State already a couple of times this season. What has impressed you the most about this squad?
I think they're getting an identity. They realize what the expectations are of having a big-time coach like Deion Primetime Sanders. And the team has really stepped up to the challenge. Very competitive football team. A defense that runs sideline to sideline with cornerbacks that can cover. But I think the secret has been they've discovered the athletes they possess on the offensive side of the football. Starting about a trio of wide receivers that can get it done. Go with Corey Reed, 6'3". He's a very physical receiver. You give him a 50-50 ball, he's going to come down with it 70% of the time. And then they add in the senior, Mr. Excitement, the Energizer Bunny. Warren Newman, the senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, is a dynamic playmaker. But the one that's having the biggest breakout of them all is Dalen Baldwin, the transfer from Morgan State, 6'3", NFL talent. He's taken this conference by storm. And if you're going to try and slow down a high-powered offense, if you're Alabama State, you know what you need to do? Control the battle of the time of possession. And fortunately for them, they have the academic All-American in running back Ezra Gray. If he can put up any type of numbers like he's done throughout his career, look for the Hornets to give him the football often.
Yeah, that's all the coaches could talk about in our call with Alabama State, right, Jay, was Ezra Gray. His name just kept coming up, but we asked about the top players and the ones that lead this team, and he is certainly leading the charge for them this season.
Good thing about Gray, he's a leader on and off the field. His leadership will be tested today because this Jackson State team, when they come into your home field, they like to take over and dominate and push you around.
This is Warren on the return for Jackson State. Alabama State won the toss. They have deferred, and Warren is off to the races, and he gets close to midfield on a stellar return to get things started for the Tigers here today.
The John Warren is one of those guys, they call him Nugget. You talk about the cornerback duo that they have. Well, Warren is a guy that has the size at 6 feet, 190 pounds, and Coach Prime just raved about his potential and the possibility of him playing at the next level.
And here's the other 4, Jalen Jones, who is the quarterback for Jackson State, sophomore out of Henrico, Virginia. First play is a pass, and it's caught by Corey Reed for a short pickup.
When you talk about the quarterback, Jalen Jones, he's been the catalyst. He's been their offensive MVP. Yet to throw an interception on the season, completing the ball at a 67% percentage. And if he can continue to make good decisions and get the ball to his playmakers early, that's when this offense really explodes out of the gates.
43-7 win in the last game for Jackson State. The handoff for Tyson Alexander. Going to be a couple yards shy of the first down. Back to Jones, though, Jay, and you mentioned him in last week's game. How about 250 yards passing, 3 touchdowns? He's also a threat to run as well. Got a rushing touchdown in addition to those in the air.
A true dual-threat quarterback in situations like this. If he doesn't throw the ball quickly, look for him to tuck it and call his own number running the football.
Opening series, and it's Alexander, and he is going to be stopped down dead at his tracks. What a tackle, yeah. Christian Clark, the senior nose guard.
Christian Clark, number 94, right up the middle. If he gets into your backfield, that's just not fair. You cannot have a 360-pound defensive tackle tackling your 190-pound running back in the backfield. When Christian Clark gets his hands on you, bad things are going to happen.
Loss of 3 on the play, and the opening drive stalls. 4th and 5 for Jackson State. Lane McGregor on the kick, and a fair catch for the Tigers just across the 10-yard line. And here we go with Ryan Nettles now, redshirt freshman quarterback for Alabama State, Jay. First collegiate start at quarterback last week. What did you see? What have your thoughts on his play early on this year for the Hornets?
Yeah, when he played against Southern, he looked mature beyond his years, particularly for somebody that has not started a quarterback in a game for almost 2 seasons, 3 seasons really. So when you look at him, they're so high on him, and the future's bright. I was looking forward to watching every throw he's going to make. They say he has all the tools to be the ultimate winner, and they've been waiting for that in Montgomery, Alabama for a long time.
He wants to pass on first down, and a good pickup here on the catch made by Terrence Ellis, and gets up close to the 20-yard line. Alabama State on offense now, the first time today.
And they're coming out throwing the ball early. One of the keys to this game is going to be, can Alabama State protect their quarterback? They start 5 first-year starters on the offensive line. That's going to be the challenge going against this Jackson State defense.
High throw hauled in, though, by Jeremiah Hickson on an 8-yard pickup. He had 1 catch last week, good for a 32-yard touchdown from Nettles, who threw 2 TDs and 1 interception.
And much like Jackson State, the strength, these offenses kind of mirror each other. They've got big wide receivers on the edge and small slot receivers and good dual threat running backs.
And it's Ezra Gray in the first carry of the day on first down for Alabama State. Hornets coming off a 24-21 loss against Southern a couple weeks ago, or I should say at the end of February. Gray's a sub 4.4 guy, also in the return game for Alabama State. Swing out pass caught Michael Jefferson, but he stepped out of bounds. How about Jefferson? He's got to be one of the top receivers in this conference, really, and in college football, FCS level and beyond, Jay. He's certainly a big talent, a junior from Mobile, Alabama.
Yeah, and when you talk about Michael Jefferson, he plays big. He's one of those guys that he can hurt you in so many ways. Normally when you get the tall receivers, you think that they're going to be the type that have to stretch the top off the defense only. He can make every catch that's needed of a wide receiver, improved blocker, but his jumping ability is what really separates him. He can jump out of the gym. He's a guy, just throw it up and give him a chance and see if he can come down with it, and he won't let you down.
Their top draft prospect at the top of the screen, 3rd down and 8. They go in his direction, and he has it for the first and more across the 42-yard line, pushed out of the 43. 13-yard pickup on the play.
Yeah, and this is a matchup we want to see right here. You talk about number 4 Warren going against an NFL prospect, and what a route by Jefferson coming out of the break on a dime, picking up the first down.
Four for 4 right now for Alabama State. And Nettles has found 3 different receivers. Jefferson with a couple catches, Hickson and Ellis each with 1. Now back in the air on a 1st and 10, going deep, taking a shot, and just over the outstretched arms of Jahad Booker.
And you saw a little bit of frustration from Jackson State. They decided they're going to bring pressure, try and rattle the young quarterback, and he almost hit him over the top. And as a quarterback, you take that miss. If you're going to blitz me, you have to know there are going to be consequences. And had this been a completion, there would have been severe consequences. I like the guts of Ryan Nettles recognizing the pressure and getting rid of the football.
How about them coming out and throwing early here, Jay? And this is a first down reception that is made on the sideline. Picked up that time by Abdou Diop.
The tight end Diop, and look at the distribution by Nettles. He's coming in here and he's making quick decisions where to go with the football, finding the open receiver. He's not playing like somebody just making his 2nd collegiate start going against pretty complicated defensive scheme of Jackson State.
That's a great point. Handoff now to Gray, and he is going to be stopped for no gain. And I think that's probably the case, right? Because Jackson State coming in knows about Gray, right? He's their main guy there in the backfield. It seems like they're going to put the effort on stopping him, which they have in the first couple carries he's had, Jay.
It clearly has been the case. Stop the running game, see if the quarterback, the young freshman quarterback, can beat us throwing the football. And they're not giving up yet. There's still a 0-0 ball game, so they're still crowd the line of scrimmage, discouraging the run.
Bunch formation, the wide out to the top. It's back to Gray and a second down run, and now he breaks free, and he has a first down. So Ezra Gray, 10-yard pickup.
And you see the vision. Great job of bouncing to the outside, then having the speed to outrun the very speedy defense of Jackson State, being trailed by Keontae Hampton, number 40, the reigning SWAC Defensive Player of the Year, but Gray able to take the edge and corner on him.
It's going to be just shy of the first down. 3rd down and 1. 10th play of the drive here for Alabama State. It started just across their own 10-yard line. They're at the Jackson State 37, and they're pointing towards the Hornets as someone jumped.
Offense, number 56, 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
And that's a big no-no right there. Call that a mental error. When you've got a team coming in here and you want to establish the lead, 3rd and 1, you can't jump. You can't jump. You go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6, 2 completely different play calls, putting your offense now behind the 8 ball.
Tony Ross, our referee today, on the first penalty of the day. And now Nettles in some trouble. Needs 6 yards, as you said, Jay. He's not going to get it. And they're going to knock him down the 40-yard line. So decision time here. You going to continue to go for it? They've had a nice drive up to this point.
Yeah, you go for it. You cross midfield. The quarterback picked up just enough yardage to put you in consideration for it. I would go for it in this situation here. You have to play to win. This is a conference game.
Donald Hill-Illy, head coach for Alabama State. Well, let's see, 4th down and 4, and Nettles comes off the field and discussed. So Aubrey Grace will punt. Interesting the way that they were moving the ball.
They were, but after that penalty, that really was a costly penalty turn, almost like a turnover, because you're going to change possession. Net 20, you should have gone for it, Coach Hill-Ely. Kicked the ball in the end zone, but it was an impressive drive by the Hornets to get it started, but they end up with no points on the board. We're tied in Montgomery.
College football is presented by McDonald's.
Alabama State here today in Montgomery, Alabama. Mike Corey and Jay Walker. No score. First quarter of action. Each team has had a possession. 6,500 fans. 25% capacity here, Jay.
And Mike, you know what they call it? They call it the Alabama STATEU University ASU. That's their chant. Call the game.
Good stuff. Jones back in action for Jackson State. The pass is caught by Corey Reed. Transfer out of Louisville. 7-yard pickup. He had 5 catches last week for 120 yards. He's one of their big 3 in the wide receiver group.
Yeah, I think going into the year, he was the guy that was kind of established and who they knew was going to do well. But as we mentioned in the open, Dalen Baldwin's been the one. And when you talk to opposing coaches, they've said they didn't realize how strong, physical, and fast this receiving corps is.
Jones on the rollout. The pass is incomplete. Again, looking for Reed, knocked down by Rodney Eccles. True freshman corner. Nice defensive play there for Alabama State.
And the strategy thus far for offensive coordinator Jason Phillips of Jackson State has been move Jones out of the pocket early. Have him doing a lot of movement where he really does have that pass-run option. Now, he will pass first, but he does have the ability to really hurt you with his legs. And in situations like this, like I said in the first series, be surprised if you don't see Jones call his own number to pick up the yardage, run the football if nothing's there.
Looked like Alabama State bringing pressure here on third down. Jones over the middle. The pass is caught. Look out. It's Reed. And he has a first down and more into Alabama State territory. Finally brought down by Ronnie Eccles.
A 3rd and 3, big wide receiver. You have the best wide receiver core in the conference. Get it to your playmakers in space and look at the run after catch and the physical nature. Corey Reed off to a fast start here today.
Jay, 27-yard pickup. You could see the size differential there as Eccles was trying to tackle Reed. And now it sails past him. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
You know, that's what you want to see. You know, if you've got big wide receivers, and if we call a crossing route or a slant route, use your physical frame to get the inside leverage and almost box them out like you would do in basketball. And the good wide receivers that can play physical and work their way around the football field at will, those are defensive backs' nightmare.
4 wide receivers set. Warren Newman in motion. He's a good one as well. And it goes right out to him. He's got it. Oh, but he gets decked on the spot. What a defensive tackle made by Bryce Webster. Read that the entire way, the sophomore defensive back.
They read your keys. They know that Warren Newman's a guy they like to throw those bubble screens to, and great anticipation, but a way to finish off the play with a big blow on the tackle.
2nd tackle for loss for Alabama State here in this first quarter. 3rd and 12 now. And a timeout is taken. And we'll take it with him. Coach Prime will talk it over with Jones as QB, and we'll have 3rd and 12 from Montgomery, Alabama when we come back. So Jackson State already 2-0. This could really separate themselves. They get the win here today versus Alabama State. Alcorn forfeits due to the opt-out, so Alabama State's actually 1-1. They come off their only game that they played, a 24-21 loss to Southern. But this is big for the conference standings, Jay.
Oh, absolutely. And if Alabama State can get the win today, for them, their season always comes down to them versus Alabama A&M. Either way, that's their in-state rival. Look out.
Big 3rd and 12, and it's picked off by Daniel Troutman for Alabama State. Coming back from the timeout, Jalen Jones throwing his first interception of the season.
Daniel Troutman, number 17. The coaches say he's always going to be in the right place at the right time, and they were trying to go for a one-on-one matchup with Dalen Baldwin, but great safety help over the top. Got to find another place to go with the football in that situation, and a great job of coming up with the big play by Troutman on the interception, as you mentioned, the first for Jalen Jones this year.
Yeah, Xavier Mitchell was back there as well. The defensive back, as you said, double coverage, and now it's Nettles as he goes over the middle, and this pass is incomplete for Booker. That'll be 2nd down and 10. Last time they started this deep, though, they drove all the way down to the Jackson State 40-yard line, but had to punt. As we said, first interception of the season for Jalen Jones, as he has thrown 8 touchdowns thus far throughout the first 3 games of the year.
And you know what you tell them as offensive coordinator, as a quarterback, when my coaches tell me, okay, you threw a long interception on 3rd down. It was just like a punt. Forget about it. It was a punt. The team's got bad field position. Let the defense help us out. And when you get the ball again, then maybe we can make something happen.
Gray fumbles, got it knocked out, recovered by Nettles, the quarterback. And they've been all over Ezra Gray here to start. Jackson State defense. And Nettles able to fall forward for a couple of yards after picking that up.
In the hole, trying to make a jump cut, and great job by Justin Reagan, number 76, creating the fumble, and very fortunate to pick it back up. But as you're seeing, you know, give Dennis Thurman, the deep coordinator for Jackson State, credit. He's sticking to the game plan. We're going to make it uncomfortable for them to run, and if he can throw the football consistently down the field, they'll get some plays, but we can make stops on 3rd down.
Now it's a 3rd and 8, and Nettles' pass is too high for Jeremiah Hickson, and they will have to punt a 3 and out after getting it back on the interception.
This time, man, everybody with the jersey, they're playing on turf, and it looks like they're playing on grass. You see all the grass clippings and the shreds of turf on there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen that much synthetic turf on jerseys before.
Alabama State's got an excellent punter, and he's only a freshman, Aubrey Grace. He's been averaging almost 47 yards a punt this season. Long of 57 on the year, back from his own 5-yard line. Another excellent kick inside of the 35 is where it's taken down by Warren Newman. And he goes nowhere. 5:04 to play first quarter. Still no score. Back with more right after this. For Jackson State to have this guy leading the team 3-0 this year, trying to go to 4-0. Our prayers and condolences to Coach with the passing of his mentor and pastor out of Dallas, Texas, Bishop Omar Jawar, who he lost this past week, and he meant so much to him. And thinking of you there, Coach, as his team tries to go to 4-0 for the first time in 25 years. They have it back on offense from their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Tyson Alexander on the carry. And the tackle there by Ershad Davis.
Yeah, Davis coming up from his rover position. You talk about Tyson Alexander's a running back that they like to run off tackle. So the wide receivers with good coverage down the field. But when you recognize run, you've got to get there in a hurry. And when you realize the scouting report on Alexander is they like to bounce him outside.
And how about the little tasseling that we just saw there from Ronnie Eccles and Warren Newman, wide out for Jackson State.
Set the game clock to 4 minutes and 53 seconds. 4-5-3.
It's an intense game, and when we saw the standings, we know that both teams have something at stake here. It's early conference play, and they're both on the eastern part of the conference. So Jackson State trying to help ensure a chance to make it to the SWAC championship, and Alabama State realized it's kind of do or die for their season if they want to have any chance of participating in the SWAC championship.
Off the play fake, pass intended for Kylan Ritchie, the tight end, incomplete.
And I think what you're starting to see a little bit, Mike, is you're starting to see guys like Donhill Ely. They've got footage now on Jackson State. They know who the playmakers are. There aren't too many surprises there. They know what they like to do. You start to see those tendencies, and then you try to exploit them. And that's just the nature of the game of football. You're a really good team, and you can adjust to other teams' adjustment towards you.
Both teams 1 and 3 on 3rd down, 1 for 3, and they tried to set up the screen for Alexander, and it's incomplete. So another punt coming here from Jackson State.
And this is just good recognition by the black jerseys. They're not falling for the pass rush. Throw could have been a little bit better, but it was dropped. But you saw, even with the catch made, they were reading their keys, and they were in a position to minimize that play. Impressive start by Alabama State defense, and I know their coordinator, Travis Pearson, has to be proud of the job his unit's doing right now.
Well, the second 3 and out for Jackson State. And a team that put up 53, 33, and 43 points over the last 3 weeks. How about Nettles, though? Ryan Nettles, second career start, Jay. What have you seen, and what have you liked so far?
I like where he decides to go with the football. Doesn't throw the ball in the coverage and gets the most out of his pre-snap read, which is really the key for young quarterbacks. When you're nervous out there, read the defense, take a little second longer if you need to, and know where you're going to go with the football. Very decisive where he's going with the football thus far in this game.
Handoff for Ja'Cory Merritt on his first carry of the day for Alabama State. Nettles practiced last year as a scout team quarterback. Really hasn't played in 3 years. He's a redshirt freshman. He missed his senior year of high school with a knee injury. And you've talked about how smart he is, Jay. He's a valedictorian, so of course he's got to be smart. He makes some great plays out there for a young guy who hasn't seen much collegiate action, really.
Give me a smart quarterback, and I'll give you a chance of having success on the field.
Nettles, and it's overthrown. Good strong arm, too, there. He wanted Wallace Corker, his junior wide receiver. Evergreen, Alabama. That's where he's from. As we said, with a knee injury, missing his senior year. It's a shot of him there.
That's tough, and he's got a nice frame. 6'4", probably weighs about 195 pounds with some room to grow some more size on that frame and keep his mobility. So future's bright, just a freshman, so you'll be hearing about this young man for years to come.
3rd and 10, and the pass is incomplete, broken up. Good job there at Jackson State. On the play was Isaiah Bolden, sophomore transfer out of Florida State at the corner position.
This is here just refusing to relinquish the football. It comes down to that, and that's a fantastic play there, dislodging that ball and forcing the 4th down punt. Bolden's the guy, he was a game-time decision. Weren't sure if he was going to play. And you talk about the cornerbacks that Coach Prime and Coach Thurman have faith in. Bolden, Warren, Alexander Shaw emerged a week ago. This is a secondary that's, they're being taught at the highest level. They're having some pretty good results this season.
Now Alabama State with back-to-back 3-and-outs, and it's going to be excellent field position here for Jackson State as they get it back at their own 40-yard line. UFC Fight Night tomorrow from the Apex in Las Vegas with another big card. 7th-ranked Derek Brunson, he's won 3 straight. 10th-ranked Kevin Holland, he's won 5 straight. They square off in the middleweight main event. Prelims start at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on ESPN2, followed by the main card on ESPN and ESPN+. All right, so back to Jalen Jones.
Heavy Dessa running right now. I think, right now, Jones has been throwing it, but one thing they like to do is establish the run. I'd look for Jackson State trying to force feed the run.
Well, that's not what they wanted there as Jones gets taken down. Jackson State, they had that 27-yard pass completion. Other than that, 12 plays now for 10 yards. Actually make it 12 plays for 8 yards as they lost 3 there on 1st down.
Been a little bit sluggish, uncharacteristic, but I still think, when they're rolling, they establish the run game, then they hurt you with the wide receivers in the passing game.
Jones's pass, and that's caught by Baldwin and taken down on the spot by Davis. Short pickup, 3rd down again here for Jackson State.
And this is the part of the offense where they don't feel as comfortable. They normally like to have it 3rd and short where you can bring in Jalen Jones' running ability with your play calls. But here, this is a traditional drop-back situation. This has not been their point of strength on the season in these type of passing situations.
1 for 4 on 3rd down thus far. Flag is thrown.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
That's on the right tackle, Amari Catchings, and that's not going to help the cause either, Jason. Now 3rd and 13. See if they find whether their main target wideouts in Baldwin, number 6, Reed, number 9, or Newman, number 10. 10 is Newman. He's in motion at the top of the screen. Jones, 3rd and 13. It's a keeper on the safe play right to the sideline, and the punt team's going to come right back out.
High play design, you can tell they weren't going to risk that opportunity of not protecting the football or the interception. Real quick sprint to the right, trying to see if something was there wide open, but a little bit more of the conservative play call. But when your defense has been playing as lights out as they have for the past week, give them a chance. Don't help out the opponent. Look out.
McGregor drops it, picks it back up, and this is going to take a Jackson State bounce as he was lucky just to get that one off. And a 33-yard kick.
He's going to talk to him. Their special teams have been bad. That's just a drop. That should have been a block. Fortunate there was no punt block called by the Hornets. The kicking game and the kicking woes of Jackson State, I think that's something that they know they need to address and do a better job of.
59 was right there. Abraham Adesipi on special teams had a chance at it had he just come flying in. Maybe could have had the block. Instead, it'll be pretty good field position up on the 32-yard line. First down and 10. Nettles' pass caught by Diop, the tight end. Jay, what do you think this does a little bit for Jackson State? You know, they've been on fire, you know, the last 3 games. They're playing with a lot of confidence. Maybe the players thought they were going to come out and do similar things again here today, and it's not happening the way they expected.
As long as the score is 0-0, you're okay, because Alabama State is not taking advantage of this uncharacteristic slow start for Jackson State, and as you see Nettles going down with the sack. The good thing for JSU, the defense is playing lights out. They're still pitching a shutout, but offensively, they've got so much firepower, it's just a matter of time before they get it going.
Both sides. Defense, number 90, 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Well, that's going to negate Jackson State's first tackle for loss today. Brian Mitchell, guilty party there, the senior defensive end. Nettles 6 for 11, 44 yards thus far, 2nd and 3. And Gray swarmed under again. Another loss. What a tackle from Keontae Hampton, the leading tackler at the linebacker spot, Jay.
Yeah, and this is by design. Look at the number count. They've had 7 men around the line of scrimmage. You're running uphill. They've got 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers there, all within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. That's one of the easiest tackles Keontae Hampton is going to make. He's already an outstanding player. You don't need to give him any assistance.
Yeah, what a great read, though, that time. And now here a throw and catch caught by Jahad Booker. And it's a 6-yard gain and a first down. So just what Alabama State needed, finally moving the chains and avoiding a 3rd straight 3-and-out. A little tempo here, 30 seconds to play, first quarter of action.
When they put that 7th man in the box, who's standing right on the ASU logo, that's number 32, Javian Adams, the safety. When he's that close to the line of scrimmage, they're daring you to run the football. You have to throw the football, or else you're just setting yourself up for negative plays.
Well, they put it on the ground, Jay, and it's going to be Gray. He gets a little bit of positive yardage here. It gets up close to the midfield line. But I see what you're saying, and that's what they've been doing throughout this entire first quarter, Jackson State. Gray has been held in check. And that's the end of one. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and Jackson State trying to go to 4-0. Alabama State, other ideas. Start of the second quarter after this. So we didn't see the firepower in the first quarter, that's for sure. 6 punts and a combined 7 possessions. The other one was an interception. And it's the first game of the season Jackson State did not score in the first quarter here in their 4th game of the year. Jay, they averaged 455 yards of offense a game. They had 40 in the first quarter.
Wow. Yeah, not the start that we've grown accustomed to seeing from Jackson State, an offense that puts up 43 points a game. But give credit to the Alabama State defense. They came in here with a game plan. They've executed to perfection. Now they just need some offensive firepower so they can play with the lead.
Gray on a 2nd down carry. And Jay, you're making a comment about the turf here, right? Well, what else do you think? I mean, look at all the jerseys, right? Like you're saying, all the turf.
They went old school, man. You know, like when we used to go places, when I played at Howard, our team had so much team speed that folks wouldn't cut the grass and they would put the sprinklers on right before the game or during the game. I think they knew that this speedy team from Jackson State was coming in, so they said, we're not going to rake it. We're not going to do what we need to do. We're going to let it grow a little bit so they can slip and slide all over the place. I just have never seen that much synthetic turf on jerseys like we've seen in this game here. Look at everybody.
Reagan on the knockdown for Jackson State, 4th and 5, and Alabama State has to punt.
And when games go like this, back and forth, punt, 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 then special teams become more of a factor. And normally that's been one of the weak links. And I would give the advantage to Alabama State, the special teams department, because we've seen and talked about the struggles that Jackson State has. If there's one chink in the armor that stands out for Jackson State, it's their special teams play.
Grace had 5 punts in the first game for Alabama State. This is already his 4th today, and it's going to be a touchback as we have just started this second quarter of action. The NCAA Women's Championship first round begins tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN. Some of our featured games. ABC has Middle Tennessee and Tennessee at 2 Eastern, and then we've got Jackson State. How about it? Against Baylor. And ESPN has Mercer, South Carolina, then High Point and UConn. All games are available on the ESPN app. You can watch wherever you are. It's the NCAA Women's Championship first round beginning tomorrow. Presented by Capital One.
Shout out to the JSU Lady Tigers making it to the tournament, helping Jackson State try to get a stranglehold on that Commissioner's Cup.
Jalen Jones on first down, and he has his man. It's Corey Reed who makes the catch for the first up to the 44-yard line. So big and strong, and the yards after the catch. 24-yard gain.
If you're going to be a 6'3" wide receiver, play big. Release upfield, this back shoulder throw, swim the defensive back. For the good ones, they make it look easy, and Corey Reed made that difficult catch look extremely simple.
4 catches, almost his 5th, but couldn't haul that one in. He's got 4 catches for 61 yards so far in this game. Transfer out of Louisville. 5 catches last week, 120. It's 1 touchdown on the season.
I think what's happened is they're shifting the defense, shading towards the side of Dalen Baldwin. So you got Reed with one-on-one coverage without a safety. No safety help, so that's going to be where they try and throw the football.
Well, he was down at the bottom of the screen that time, and instead they go to Baldwin's direction. He's going to draw a flag. Late flag comes in. And you called it, Jay. They wanted here Baldwin, and we'll get the official call. Natron Culpepper on coverage.
Pass interference. Defense number 5. It's a spot foul. Automatic first down.
So when they put Culpepper over there, number 5, he's their best cover cornerback. So he's going to follow Baldwin across the field, and they're just saying down the field, that shove. He'd have moved his feet a little bit and not extended the arms. Might have gotten away with it, but calling a little bit tight down on the field.
Yeah, a little bit of a hold there. So now 1st and 10 from the 45 of Alabama State here for the Tigers. Inside handoff for Alexander. He spins forward.
With this 3-man defensive line, I'm pretty sure that Jackson State thought they'd have a little bit more success running the football, but the one thing you can't account for is the big guys in the middle. Number 90, Tarver, Christian Clark, 94. Those are 300-pounders, and they just don't move.
Well, you said it, and then again, they stop Alexander. Not much happening there on a second down play. That is Tarver again, the sophomore D lineman, and also Andrew Ogletree there, 92.
Yeah, just filling it in, and watch number 6 come in and finish him off. You want to leave your feet, there's nowhere to go. The big fellas stuffing the line of scrimmage. Mello Tarver, the sophomore from right there in Montgomery, Alabama.
Jackson State with just 0.6 yards per rush thus far in this game. 3rd and 5. Big play here. Pass is caught on the catch. Baldwin and tracked down at the 5 by Culpepper, saving what would have been a touchdown. 35 yards.
Baldwin is thinking to his head, wow, you're finally going to go give me one-on-one man-to-man coverage with no safety help? Good job by Jones looking the safety off and holding him to the middle of the field, and then coming back and hitting the skinny post to Dalen Baldwin.
Flag is down. Another late flag. I think this is coming back, Jay. Will possibly negate the longest play of the day. Yep, ineligible downfield was the call. How about that?
So now's the time, if you're in the black jerseys, keep everything in front of you. Play quarters, keep it in front of you. Come up, make a tackle.
Jones, that's to throw it away. Over there was Warren Newman.
Taking advantage of the penalty on Jackson State that negates a big play from Jones to Baldwin, and now punt situation. And keep in mind, the special teams have not been up to par for Jackson State. See if Alabama State tries to come after him for a punt block this time.
What a difference that penalty, of course. Instead of 1st and goal from the 5, it's a punt situation again for Jackson State, and we remain deadlocked at 0-0. 12:01 to play, first half. Back to Montgomery in a moment. State here in this SWAC matchup from Montgomery, Alabama. Let's go back to the last sequence for Jackson State. Clean this up. Illegal formation was the call, negating a pass play down the 5-yard line. See the guy right to the right of the line of scrimmage? That's the tight end, 85, Kylan Ritchie. He's covered up, if you will. Bottom of the screen, Corey Reed, the wideout. Can't have the two guys at the line of scrimmage right there. So 85's got to be off the line, and he's not. So that caused them to have an incomplete pass on 3rd down and another punt. We've had 8 punts here today, and Alabama State is back on offense with just under 12 minutes to go in the second quarter.
And that's a great job by the officials of recognizing that even though the football went away from that side of the field, it was the right call.
Ryan Nettles. Pass is caught. Michael Jefferson. And no, now they'll say incomplete and not hang on.
Good job by Warren coming in where it looked like Jefferson was making the completion, but Warren able to knock the football out for the incompletion. And, you know, one thing Ryan Nettles will have to learn as he progresses, if your offensive coordinator calls a pass play on 1st down, you got to complete that pass. It doesn't have to be the home run ball. It's got to be 3-4 yards to get the drive going. Otherwise, you're playing behind the sticks, and that really does give the defense a leg up.
Third and 10. 4 straight incompletions. Make it 5, and it's a pick. Intercepted. Picked off by Keontae Hampton.
One thing about Keontae Hampton, he's just a playmaker. I mean, you know, you're not your conference defensive player of the year as a sophomore unless you have the ability to come up with the big plays, and that's been the story for him this year as well in his junior season. Reading his keys. He's dropping curl to flat. You see him left side of your screen, there to make the tackle. Once the ball's in the air, he's athletic enough to readjust and come away with the huge interception for Jackson State.
Leading tackler. There's a fumble recovery, breakup, over 30 tackles on the season, and now his first interception of the campaign, and good field position here inside the 30. A shot from Jones to the end zone. It's incomplete. At Corey Reed, he overthrew him.
They're trying this run pass option. So the first indicator for Jones is if we can hand the ball off to Alexander, we want to do that run off tackle. But the moment they come off of that, they've got built-in pass plays downfield of the short variety where he's getting rid of the football quick. And they just have not been able to connect, but they are recognizing and getting this one-on-one coverage.
Saw the offensive numbers as the pass is caught by Warren Newman on the far sideline for Jackson State. They lead the SWAC in all those offensive categories, yet the numbers are paltry here to start. But we're still early second quarter. And Jay, in a game like this, right, all it takes is one play, right, get a touchdown, get things going, and then it starts to pick up. You've seen that happen before.
They explode for points in bunches. However, I'm thinking right here, the way they've kicked the football, this is 4-down territory. If they don't get it here, they're going to go for it.
Jones, is there a 1 for 6 on 3rd down today, and this time they convert it. And they're inside the red zone. Jalen Jones, dual threat.
We knew at some point his legs would come into the offense. That's normally part of their package on third down. Quarterback draws, finding some running lanes for him and letting his athleticism take over.
5-yard pickup of the first. Now Jones, and this pass is almost intercepted. Looking for Reed, and there was James Burgess, the freshman corner. He almost picked it off.
With a nice break on the ball. Ball thrown slightly ahead of the receiver, which allowed Burgess to be in better position than Reed. That's just a nice break on the ball from the young freshman. I don't know how much I want to cover Corey Reed with the freshman cornerback.
It was a tough cover today. Jones again, and that pass well off the mark as well. I mean, obviously Reed has been the target today. And Alabama stayed ready for it. Now a 3rd and 10. Try to hold them to a field goal try. And the kicking game for Jackson State has been suspect this season, so it could be a huge victory here if Alabama State can hold them on a 3rd and 10. Right back to it, setting up the screen. Newman, and he's taken down by Austin Brundridge. And it's going to be 4th down.
What a great job of Brundridge making that tackle. Brundridge was a inside linebacker a season ago. They moved him to outside linebacker, which was the position he played in high school, and able to track down the speedy Warren Newman. Hold your breath, ASU fans now. See that tag there. This is not your comfort zone.
Well, this is Glenn Misak, and he is 1 for 1 for a field goal from 23 yards out. This is a 31-yard attempt, and this kick is true, so he connects. So Misak 2 for 2. And finally, someone's on the board here. Jackson State 3-0 over Alabama State. Still 10:01 to go, second quarter.
You act like you made a 50-yarder. Give him that confidence, that enthusiasm. Great job by Coach Prime realizing I'm going to need this young man at some point. I don't know if it's going to be today or in the future, but that's a good job of coaching by Coach Prime. A little sense of false confidence.
Glenn Misak with the 31-yard field goal after the interception. And they only went 14 yards. I mean, they had 7 plays, Jay, for 14 yards, and they settled for the 31-yard field goal.
Yeah, the offense still hasn't clicked yet. We see a couple of missed throws from Jalen Jones trying to connect with Corey Reed. But nonetheless, they're still up by 3.
Matchup in the SWAC today, FCS college football. Good to have you with us. Is Gray on the return for Alabama State. Let's see what they can do here as they head back to work with Nettles. What are you looking for out of this series and this sequence? Particular player that you want to see get the ball a little bit more here, more involved in the offense?
They need to try and do what Jackson State's doing to them. Get the ball to their playmakers. The strength of this offense is in the skill position. It's with Booker and Michael Jefferson. Get them the ball close to the line of scrimmage and see if they can make some plays for you. But particularly on first down, you need Nettles to make the right decision on whether to run or throw the football on first down. Good job.
This goes out to Terrence Ellis, the tight end.
And see, something like that, it's just going to show up as a simple completion on first down. Didn't wow you, it's not for a first down, but it puts you ahead of the sticks. So now it's 2nd and 4. You have the defense on their heels. You can run the football. You can throw the football. You can take a deep shot and still realize you've got 2 plays to pick up these 4 yards.
Yeah, that's what they needed. Safe play there early. Get the ball moving down the field. You saw head coach Donald Hill-Ely, offensive coordinators Joe Blackwell. 2nd and 4 from the 28. Nettles with time. Good protection. And a pass incomplete. Here comes the flag. Receiver got hit and went down.
Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
It was on Dejan Nugget Warren.
We said this will be the battle right here between 19 and 4. Michael Jefferson trying to come out of his break, and Nugget Warren takes him to the turf. First down for Alabama State.
Yeah, good call. Third penalty on Jackson State so far in this first half. Ezra Gray's in the backfield on a 1st and 10. Gray has it, has a hole. Good run here. Finally tracked down by Quadarian Barnett. That's been one of the best runs of the day, though, for the top guy there, and Ezra Gray for Alabama State.
Yeah, nice vision. The first hole was not there, and able to bounce to the outside, kind of come around the corner, pick up some positive yardage, 8 yards on first down, helping out his young freshman quarterback.
Back to Gray. First down run, solid again for the senior out of Lynn Haven, Florida. Smart player too. And what was Coach telling us, Jay, about his team and the GPA on this squad here and the athletes that they have, but really strong and smart players as well.
And Gray showing you the shiftiness right there, but what they really like about Ezra Gray, he gets it done on and off the field. We mentioned he's an academic All-American. Was a finalist for the William B. Campbell Award, which is the academic athletic version of the Heisman Trophy for academic athletes. And Gray's a guy that, with him raising the level of expectation, he makes the rest of the team work harder. And for Alabama State, and I know they got to be proud for the athletic department, the president, Quentin Ross, athletic director, Jenny Williams, and head coach Downhill Ely, 50 football players have GPAs of 3.0 and higher. Mike Corey, can I repeat that?
That was
over
50
student athletes on the football team have GPAs over 3.0, and they say Ezra Gray is the reason behind it. I'm going to give you all the love in the world on that every time.
They mentioned that to us a few times during the call about that number, as they should. That's pretty impressive.
I would be proud of that moment, too. And that's really, It takes a culture to do it. You have to have the culture. And the culture of Montgomery is built for that type of success. And that's not anything you can do overnight. It's got to start at the top and continue with the great leadership they've got going. And if they can get the football team to go with it, some good things can happen.
Timeout taken. 7:05 to go, second quarter. 3rd and 6, Alabama State when we return. And tomorrow is the anniversary, the 66th anniversary of the 3rd march, the successful march from Selma, Alabama to Montgomery back in 1965. The 54-mile stretch is demonstrated by the desire of African-American citizens to exercise their constitutional right to vote, and by highlighting the racial injustice they contributed to passage that year of the Voting Rights Act, a landmark federal achievement of the civil rights movement. Pass over the middle. Hickson caught. Touchdown, Alabama State. On cue, they're in the end zone for the first time today. 35-yard score.
Marching into the end zone, because in Montgomery the march goes on. That's all I'm going to say on that. But Jeremiah Hickson, he's their 3rd down target. They say they like to utilize him on 3rd down in the middle of the field. Good job looking off to your left, coming back, and here comes a streaking Hickson. No safety help over the top. Takes advantage of the freshman Javian Adams, and that's a touchdown for Alabama State. Good response to the field goal they gave up to Jackson State on the previous drive.
Under review.
You got their version, a little turnover bling right there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Could the question be whether or not he was in the end zone or not? Did he get tackled a little bit short? It's a catch. It's a touchdown.
It's totally in.
Yeah. Easily
sure
with room to spare. This is
review was on that. It's
yeah, great play. His
knees land in the end zone.
Yeah.
What a play. Hickson, he's the big play guy. Had a catch last week, one catch, 32-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
And now here, 35-yard touchdown.
After further review, the call on the field is complete. touchdown.
And they needed that for Ryan Nettles. It was a risky call by Thurman to try and get some pressure on and lead the middle of the field that wide open with one-on-one coverage. Give credit to Joe Blackwell for calling the right play to get Jeremiah Hickson, his third down receiver, lined up against a true freshman and to win that matchup.
Just saw 19 for a moment there. Michael Jefferson, the wide receiver, and then Hickson, number 1, who made that catch. Two very good friends. It shows how you come together for each other. Michael Jefferson, 19, wide receiver. His father was diagnosed with leukemia back in 2010 and was able to overcome it. But then it came back. Cancer returned in February of 2019. He insisted that MJ, Michael Jefferson, stay in school. And it was Jeremiah Hickson, number 1, his teammate, this wide receiver, that allowed Jefferson to take his car to drive to Birmingham, Alabama, 90 miles away, where his dad was getting treatment. And there were some times where Jeremiah would drive him there himself just to be there for his teammate. His father doing better, still getting treatment at UAB. He received a bone marrow transplant from Michael's brother, Eric. He's been able now to attend games and more. We certainly give our well wishes to Michael Jefferson Sr., MJ, and his teammate, Jeremiah Hickson. That's how you come together, right, Jay?
Do it together. You know, that's what the team sport is all about, particularly that wide receiver core. Wide receiver cores are always going to be a special bunch, and they have each other's back. And we want to encourage Michael Sr. to keep fighting, stay healthy. Michael Jr., get that degree for Pops now.
7-3 now. Alabama State with the advantage. And Jackson State, they're on the return. The time was Kamani Clark. And a flag is down.
Offsides against the kicking team. The 5-yard penalty will be added on to the succeeding spot. First down.
All right, so here we go, Jay. 6:51 to play first half. Jackson State has only trailed for 15 minutes and 27 seconds in the first 3 games combined this year. It was all versus Grambling. I know it's only a 4-point deficit, but just they're not used to this early on this year.
I think this drive right now, you're going to see the Tigers. I think Jackson State's going to step it up right now, and you're going to see what they can do offensively in terms of getting the ball, those playmakers. The offensive line's got to do a better job controlling that line of scrimmage. They've been rattled a little bit by Alabama State, but Jackson State's too good an offensive football team. Look for them to try and ride the horses up front and try and get a drive to kind of make a statement in this game. The offense has not been here. They're too talented to be limited to just 3 points.
Yeah, Coach Prime's group on the offensive line, a little bit more experienced than Alabama State, but you got to credit that Alabama State defense, and they do it again here, Jay, and a knockdown on the pass. And that was Cameron Rampersad, the senior defensive end, with a breakup.
Alabama State does this with the pressure up the middle, but you see a good job by number 45, Rampersad, getting in the passing lane.
Third and 10 now for Jackson State.
Right now.
Talking about Warren Newman, the wide receiver, and instead it's incomplete. They wanted Reed, and the coverage there again by James Burgess. And that was quick. 3 and out. 4th and 10.
As good as this Jackson State offense is, and we know that, have to give credit to Alabama State. The job that they've done defensively, holding the high-powered offense that averages 450 yards per game to 3 points. Impressive.
3 straight incompletions, and this ball is muffed on the return, and let's see if Jackson State was able to get on it. The officials are conferring.
That's a fumble. looking at it in live time, he ran up to try and catch it, did not catch it cleanly, and that ball was on the turf. That's JSU football.
Jackson State ball. Big turnaround, huge turnover here. That was Booker. Yep, couldn't corral it. That's a fumble.
He never has possession of the football.
I'm going to take a look at it again, but if it stands, it'll be the second turnover for Alabama State. Yeah, the interception and now the muff punt here as Booker's trying to explain to the coaches.
I mean, I don't think there's a way you say that he did not have an opportunity to field this ball. He ran up on his own. You have to give an opportunity to catch the ball. They did. And when he dropped it, they pounced on the football, which they have a right to do. So I think this should be a quick one. And it's kind of
whether it's interference is the call. I mean,
the closest people to him are in black jerseys. So those are his own teammates. So this ball is going to stay in possession of Jackson State.
Yeah, he definitely has the opportunity to catch it there. You're right, Jay. And it's going to be recovered by the Tigers, and a chance now to add some more points. The last time they got points was in Alabama State territory off the turnover. Here's the call
on the
from
field
Ross.
is confirmed. Jackson State ball, first down on the 25-yard line.
Remember the last time, though, Jay, they had 7 plays and they were able to amass 14 yards and they had to settle for the field goal.
More pressure on the defense of Alabama State, but you're playing with fire when you keep giving Jackson State this short field. And although this offense has not found its groove yet, they're not in any type of rhythm offensively, this is a quick strike offense that can put points on the board in a hurry.
Now keep an eye at the top of your screen for number 9, Corey Reed. That's where they want to go all day. Instead, it's a handoff to Alexander, and he's going nowhere. Usually you take that shot, right, Jay, on Sun and Chains. They did the last time. I mean, instead, no gain, second attempt.
I think that's what people are a little surprised with offensive coordinator Jason Phillips. Although it's a wide open attack, very disciplined with their approach. And I think they're frustrated they have not been able to establish the running game.
Look out. Jones gets rid of it. As they came with the pressure, the catch is made by Ritchie, the tight end, Kylan Ritchie. And he's down to the 6.
And this is all Jalen Jones here. I mean, fantastic job. He has his back turned to the defense, which can scare you as a quarterback, but he doesn't get rattled. Sidesteps to the left, completes the ball to his tight end and pick up big yardage.
19-yard gain. Now he takes off for the end zone, and he's upended out of bounds. Going to be just shy. As his helmet comes off, he's saying touchdown, but it's well shy. He was out of bounds, but a valiant effort by Jones.
And with the rule, with the helmet coming off, he has to leave the game for a play in short of the end zone. They'll have to come out for a play, and they'll probably bring in Quincy Casey. But look at that. Jalen Jones giving up his body, trying to get into the end zone. Can't question the young man's heart and determination.
Jay, how about this? That was a 5-yard run, the longest run of the game for Jackson State today. I mean, previously they had 9 carries for 9 yards until that run. Timeout, Jackson State. And they'll talk it over here. So not the offensive firepower that we were expecting here in this one, right, Jay? 7-3, but very competitive, and you knew Alabama State was going to put up a fight today, and they have.
They're putting out a fight at their home stadium right there. In Jackson State, things haven't gone right, but the defense continues to play well. But offensively, they're yet to find that rhythm, but they're knocking on the door right now. And you know, with a quick strike offense like JSU has, this game is long from over. But right now, the Tigers need to figure out a way to punch the ball into the end zone before the half.
What are you looking for here? You want Corey Reed? Why not? I mean, a big target. You know, they're only 6 yards away from pay dirt, and the run game hasn't been there for them today. What are you looking for here?
I think you still have to, attempt to run the football down there. However, the problem is you called a timeout, and big number 94, Christian Clark, the nose tackle for Alabama State, you've given him time to catch his breath. So if you try to run the football, I don't think you run it up the middle. You try and run it off tackle, which is unconventional in the red zone. But I also think it was a smart move by Coach Prime to call a timeout so you can have Jalen Jones stay in the game because his helmet came off on the previous play. Good move.
And you had said it from the 2-yard line.
No.
Tacking down is Alexander. The ball is out. And it was Jones that tried to pounce back onto it to get it. And you can see Colton Adams there flexing his muscles for Alabama State.
There go
Dangerous
Bubba.
sequence.
They call him Bubba, and watch Bubba shoot the gap and meet at the handoff point. Ball comes out. Great job of recovery by Jalen Jones, but Colton Adams is a sophomore, but came in, has been a starting linebacker since he first set foot on campus there. And a lot of Alabama State fans remember they had a linebacker by the name of Courtney Berry who came in and started as a freshman. Well, Bubba replaced him, and what a big play by the sophomore from Wetumpka, Alabama.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
He was all over it, and a timeout taken here by the Hornets. 4:44 to play in the first half. Look at this again.
I mean, and that's just too much attention being played to Christian Clark with the double team, and they just forgot about Colton Adams and read his keys. And what a play. Big play.
All right, so 3rd and goal now from the 5 for Jackson State. Look at that Alabama State defense. 4 tackles for loss today. Can they hold them to a field goal try?
Spread them out. Find a one-on-one matchup with your wide receiver you throw it up to, and if they try and have the safeties hide all, look for Jones to be part of the running game. They're not allowing Jones to run the football. They're keeping everybody close. Find a matchup you like and give them one of those 50-50 balls.
Warren Newman in motion. 3rd and goal, Jackson State. Jones to the end zone. It's broken up and incomplete. He wanted Christian Allen, and it was Ershad Davis that got in there, the safety for Alabama State.
Sense of urgency. Jones knows he's going to get hit. As Bubba Adams was there, but I think the defense did a good job of squatting on the goal line, anticipating a quick throw, and forcing Jackson State to attempt another field goal.
Jackson State now 2 for 10 on 3rd down today. This is going to be a 21-yard attempt, and the kick is through once again for Glenn Misak. So he hit from 31, and now he hits again here, and it's a 1-point game. March is Women's History Month, and we're really excited to broadcast the Women's Frozen Four Championship game for the first time ever. Tonight, Wisconsin takes on Northeastern, 7:30 Eastern at 4:30 Pacific on ESPNU and the app. Wisconsin won the title the last time it was played, and Northeastern is playing in their first championship game. So how about this? The Women's Frozen Four tonight. Don't miss it on ESPNU at 7:30.
Let's see if I got
and
this
hockey
right.
coming back to ESPN and the family of networks in the near future. So really excited about that. Let's get it going here, right?
And if I got it right, I believe the last time the hockey Women's Frozen Four was played, Wisconsin won it. So they didn't have a championship last year. So,
right.
Not to say I go that deep with the hockey, but I pay attention just enough. You can't play for the Vikings and Patriots and not know what's going on with hockey somewhat.
Exactly.
For the record, I'm a Caps fan.
Way to play off the promo, Jay. Good job. And down on the knee that time was Ezra Gray for Alabama State. 4:34 to go in this first half. 1-point ball game. All right, Jay. Here you go. What to know?
Jackson State 3-0. I didn't realize it had been since 2011. They were 3-0. That must have been back during the Kamaji era. And then Alabama State's kind of won this, but for Jackson State, they don't care about that, because earlier this year, you could have showed me a graph that looked very similar to this that talked about Grambling. And what did they do? They went down to Grambling, Louisiana, and came away with a victory. So JSU trying to change the direction of the program behind Coach Prime, and they've been perfect this season.
First down and 10. And a pass out to the outside here from Nettles, and he's got Ja'Cory Merritt. Not much happening, though, there. What else is at stake, though, for Jackson State? If they win today, they'll be 4-0 for the first time since 1996. Only 25 years ago. And that great of a start. And Coach Prime has it going there for Jackson State.
But
he said the players had a
statistic. 4-0 for a program like this, which is so legendary. They've been competitors in that conference for such a long time, and I think that all the names that have come through there, you got to go back to '96 before they got off to a 4-0 start. So they got some things cooking down in Jackson, Mississippi. And speaking of cooking, one of my favorite road trip states to go to, down in the SIP. You can't eat good there. You don't know where you're looking.
You got to do a gimme 5 on the best places to eat around, college football where you have been. Here on a third down, Diop on a catch. First down to Alabama State.
Now, I wonder if they're going to review this from Diop. It seemed like he made the initial catch, but did he leave his feet and was the ball moving? Should get a good look here. Ball secure.
Oh, yes. And then it hits the ground. I don't know about that. And they
that could have been.
Do it in time. Good play by Alabama State to get that one off in a hurry. And a catch by Jefferson. Let's see now. Was there a stoppage before that play? Coach Prime asking about it. No, I think the play is going to stand. We're moving on here, but there's an injured player for the Hornets.
That is Diop, who
that's Diop,
mentioned on the play, the tight end that made the catch that could have possibly not been a catch.
So he's going to come off. That's good to see. Let's hope he's okay. He's trying to shake it off here. Abdou Diop, junior tight end. It's going to be 2nd and 5 here for Nettles and company. Nettles started 7 of 16 for 50 yards and a pick, but since then he's been on fire. And it's the first incompletion in the last 7 throws. He was 6 for 6 for 52 yards in that touchdown. And now it's a big 3rd and 5 here, Jay. What do you got?
What they want to do is just stay back and play traditional defense if you're Jackson State, but the defensive line hasn't been able to get pressure on the quarterback really, and that really puts the defensive coordinator, Dennis Thurman, in a bind. And whenever he tries to bring pressure, give credit to Alabama State. The young freshmen have been able to pick it apart. But I think you stick with your guns. You force the freshman to beat you throwing the ball, and I would not bring pressure in this situation.
Pass is caught. First down reception, Michael Jefferson. And he has it to move the chain and keep this drive alive with under 3 minutes to go first half.
That's that matchup. Michael Jefferson, number 19, good inside position, makes the catch, able to get the first down against DeJon Warren.
Another catch for Jefferson. That's a really good matchup of those two today. There you said it. Warren for Jackson State, Jay, number 4, and Michael Jefferson back-to-back catches now.
And it's frustrating for Warren because of the type of defensive coverage they're calling. They're calling quarters, so his job is to give up that 4 or 5 yard pass. Now, when he gets up in his face man-to-man, this is when you see the matchup here. So now you're getting cover 1. This is what Warren wants to have.
Bottom of your screen. Instead, handoff. Ja'Cory Merritt. And he powers his way up the middle for good yardage before being hit by Keontae Hampton.
Merritt,
it's a guy that always keeps going forward, Jay, when he gets hit. Sorry.
No problem. Merritt's a local kid from Montgomery, Alabama, and could have gone to a number of places, had a number of offers, but really wanted to stay home and play in front of his family. And he's a good one.
Good yards after contact, too. Incomplete here again for Jefferson. Jefferson's got 6 catches to lead all receivers today for 33 total yards for Alabama State.
6 catches, probably has about 10 targets at least. They've been trying to get him the football, and every now and then in the game of football, you simplify it. Try and get the football in the hands of your best playmakers, and for Alabama State, that is Michael Jefferson.
Nettles solid with the numbers as you see in this second quarter. And a handoff again, and that's Merritt, same deal, powering his way after contact. A flag is thrown. Top of the screen, a 5-yard gain. We'll see if it stands. The offsides on Jackson State. What do you think here, Jay? Clock management, right? Minute 42 to go for Alabama State. 1 timeout remaining.
See, that's Reagan on the top of the screen, number 76, line up in the neutral zone. But I think offensively, you have to, don't worry about the clock. Call your best plays. You're trying to score. You're doing whatever you can to score, whatever your freshman quarterback can give you.
Nettles, here's your Jay, and the catch is made by Jihad Booker. And he's inside the 10. 1st and goal upcoming for Alabama State.
Booker's the guy they like to use to stretch the defense, take the top off the defensive coverage. Speed transfer from University of Memphis. Graduated from Memphis and now making a mark here in Montgomery. Big play for the Hornets.
What a catch by Booker. 32-yard gain. Merritt is in the backfield. 1st and goal now for the Hornets. Now here's Gray coming across, and he's going to be taken down. C.J. Holmes in there on the tackle, and a yard loss on the play. Didn't know if Holmes is going to play today, Jay, and it's good for Jackson State to have him out there.
Definitely so. And those folks that follow Jackson State football know C.J. Holmes, one of the better defenders, the backs in the conference, preseason all SWAC selection. Getting him back to what is already proved to be a really good defense. Even more firepower for the Tigers.
12th play of the drive, under a minute to go. 2nd and goal here. And just outside the 8.
45. Key number 45 in white. That's Aubrey Miller, inside linebacker. They like to bring him to disrupt the backfield when they can.
Whistle, timeout. Alabama State uses their final timeout of the half. 38 seconds remaining and a 1-point lead. And coming up at the half, well, a lot of stuff here for you today in this, in between.
Hey, come on, Mike.
Go ahead,
one
Jay.
thing coming up now.
Let's
One
give me
thing
5,
coming up
right?
at halftime. Give the people what they want. You know what they want? Give me 5. However, I put a little twist on it. It's going to have a little prime time angle of Give Me 5. I don't want to tell you what it's about, but you definitely want to see it. It's not Jay's Give Me 5 this week. I turned it over to prime time for the Give Me 5, so I don't think you want to miss that one. It's real interesting. Surprised me a little bit on some of the comments he said. Now you can talk about the other stuff, Mike.
No, that's all good. That's we'll lead the charge with that. And you dove in deep to that. So did Prime Time. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's coming up at the half. All that and more at the break. 38 ticks on the clock. Here's Nettles, redshirt freshman, 2nd career start. Looks end zone, throws, caught, touchdown, Booker.
You know, Mike, it's like golf. Would you rather be lucky or would you rather be good? Because I'm going to tell you, that was not the place to go with that football. Even though they got a touchdown, he's covered underneath and over the top by number 40, number 3, and number 4. 3 white jerseys on that side of the football with the single receiver. But that was poor outside leverage given up by Warren on that play. They were more lucky than they were good. But Who cares when you got the lead?
Well, saw exactly what you just said there, Jay, with the jerseys covering him up. And then what a throw, too, by Nettles. You had to get it in there. And Booker with a touchdown reception. Hickson's got a touchdown reception. And all of a sudden here, it's Alabama State 14 and Jackson State 6. 34 seconds to go in the first half.
They're both looking like this is supposed to be bracket. When we call this type of coverage, you're not supposed to be able to complete the ball there. And that's some years of football there, knowing that how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about Jackson State offense. I mean, Jackson State has played very well on defense this year, too. And they had a shutout. They gave up 7 points last week. Give up 28 points in week 2. But this was a 12-play, 89-yard drive. It took 4 minutes, and it's the longest drive that was given up by Jackson State defense this season. As you look at our quarterback comparison from the first half, and check mark there over there on the right for Ryan Nettles, the younger statesman who's again only in his second career game in college football and has a 8-point lead here.
Does not look rattled. It'll be interesting to see what the halftime adjustments are for Jackson State, but Alabama State
not what they needed here
at home, protecting the house.
It'll be good field position for Jackson State to try to make something out of this with 34 seconds to go in the half. They have one timeout remaining. Well, let's think about this too. Alabama State gets the ball to start the second half as well. So they got to stop here and head to the locker room with an 8-point lead. And they get the ball to start the second frame. They are in the driver's seat. And a game that I'm sure many thought Jackson State could handle here, but they're down early.
And I don't anticipate Jackson State to go with any type of hurry-up offense in this situation. We've seen them before where they've had to lead up by 7 with a minute and a half to go, and they don't really step on the gas pedal. But if the things stand like they are right now, I believe this will be the first time Jackson State has gone into a halftime locker room trailing. It'll be an opportunity for coach to do some halftime adjustments.
Well, here is Alexander, and gets pretty good yardage up to the 45-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain, 27 seconds to go. They still have the one timeout remaining. Trying to get in the field goal range here. It's the longest rush of the game today for Jackson State.
I hear a sense of urgency in your voice, like you want to see him step on it and try and get the ball downfield. But traditionally, that's just not been what they've done. And part of that was the implementation of the 2-minute offense.
Flag down. Well, they're getting helped out right now by the Alabama State defense. Penalty on them. Here it is. Baldwin, the intended receiver. Yep. It's a good call.
Look at that.
Culpepper.
Being held by the defensive back, and Baldwin still able to almost come away with a miraculous catch.
Second pass interference call of the day for Alabama State. Ball at the 40-yard line. Jones, catch is made by Warren Newman. No, now they'll say incomplete.
And if I'm Jackson State, I'm setting them up right now. Alabama State is being super aggressive. They brought a strong safety blitz from the secondary. When the safeties are blitzing, it's one-on-one coverage all over the field. You have to make them pay. In that case there, they tried to force the ball to a comeback curl route to Warren Newman, but if they're going to blitz that safety, you have to try and take a shot, get some type of crossing route, hit a guy in stride when you could really hurt him for a big play.
Colton Adams banged up. Again, made that great defensive stop down in the goal line area, forcing Jackson State to a field goal earlier in this game. He comes off. Jay, I hear you. I mean, you got 16 seconds to go. Take a shot. I mean, why not? I mean, your longest field goal made of the year is 31 yards by Misak, so they're not in his range yet. And it's been suspect with a kicking game this year.
So now they made the adjustment. They have the two safeties going high. So now Alabama State showed them a pressure look. Then they went back to a more conservative look.
They swing it out to Alexander, and he's shut down. Going to lose a yard in the play. You got a chance now to go over the middle if you want. You got the one timeout remaining. At least try to get something in range for a potential field goal. We'll see. Third and 9. Jones, low throw, incomplete, off the turf. Baldwin, the intended target. 4th and 9. And so not much you can do here now. I think it was tipped.
That ball was, tipped at the line, but on the turf. But I think at a certain point, coaches look for moments like this where you can go in the locker room and try and coach your guys up and give them. For Jackson State, it's been a very smooth ride. 3-0, they kind of cruised to it. Got the challenge from Grambling State earlier. But if you believe in it, one thing about Coach Prime, you have to believe he wants to groom these young men. He likes to teach. And if he's a teacher by trade, I think at halftime there'll be some teaching going on.
Couldn't get the 4 going on the down marker. Here we go. Jones taking a shot. It is caught by Baldwin. No, that was incomplete, out of bounds. He made the catch, but was out of bounds. What a grab by Baldwin. Just could not get the foot in. Oh, that could have been crazy. Let's see it again. Yeah, clearly out.
There, but that's a warning shot for the second half. That's letting you know David Baldwin's a guy where you may have to get some more help over there. Just missed on a big connection in the half.
Just 113 total yards of offense in this first half for Jackson State. 221 for Alabama State as they have an 8-point lead here at the half. Coach Prime is with us now. Coach Deion Sanders here for Jackson State. Coach, what did you see first half here, and what are you going to tell your team when you head back to the locker room?
The defense is playing their butts off. We had a couple of letdowns late in the second quarter. Special teams is doing a great job. We actually made a darn field goal, recovered a punt return. We're doing a good job. Offensively, we got to do a better job of getting the ball in the end zone. We're on the 2-yard line or the 1-yard line. We got to get it in right there.
Coach Prime, we know all season long the struggle has been the third quarter for Jackson State offensively, and we know you like to teach men. What are you going to go say to those guys in the locker room?
We got to do what we do. We got to do what we do. That means finish. Our whole message today was finish. Whatever we started in life, we got to finish. We started this game the right way, and we got to finish it. Considering the third quarter as well, we know we've been lackluster in the third quarter, but we've been working on that all week. So I can't wait to see how resilient we are. This is a wonderful test for us. I cannot wait to see the resilience of this team in the second half.
Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half.
God bless. I love JSU.
All right, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, head coach for Jackson State, as they trail it at the half, 14-6, and we shall see what they have in store in the second half. Right now, it's the Hornets that have been jumping around here as they lead it by 8. Halftime from Montgomery, Alabama. Back with more right after this. At the half here in Montgomery, Alabama, and this SWAC matchup today. Good to have you with us, Mike Corey and Jay Walker. All right, Jay, you've been excited for this segment here. A little bit of a twist to it today in your Gimme 5. What do you got?
Normally I start off and I tell everybody out there it's Gimme 5 time, right? But how about this? A prime time Gimme 5. Let's get the people what they want right now. Talking about what we're going to do for this topic this week. I asked Coach Primetime Sanders, give me your top 5 HBCU players of your era that you either play with or against in the NFL. How about this? Let's go. Number 5, remember that tight end out of Savannah State by the name of NFL Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp? Oh, Primetime listed him. Number 4, maybe a little homer, but I can agree with it. He got busy in the NFL, but take a look at this. Wow, that's Shannon back at Savannah State representing the Tigers when they were out of the SIAC. Let's go to number 4. We know he could get busy. Jimmy Smith from the I Love Jackson State University. Deion was adamant he could do work in the NFL. Another surprise, I think, at number 3. John Taylor from Delaware State. We all know about the Super Bowl rings, but Deion said, man, John Taylor was something else when he was in the NFL. Good to see Coach Prime giving him a little love to John Taylor there. Number 2, well, you know he had to put defense on the list, right? Even though he was a defensive back, but he also played wide receivers. He gave a shout-out to Aeneas Williams, said he was such a difference maker on and off the field. Aeneas Williams comes in at number 2. Now, Mike, you can almost guess who number 1 is going to be, right? I mean, we put a lot of names on there. Any idea who number 1 is for Deion Sanders, defensive back extraordinaire? I'm going to let you say who number 1 is, Mike. Give it to me, if you get it right.
Who is number 1? Jerry Rice, number 1 here?
The GOAT gotta be. World Rice, Jerry Rice. Not only was he the greatest wide receiver of all time, but he also played at Mississippi Valley State. No denying there. Number 1 was easy, but I like to see the uniforms. Look at the tape around the waist, the gloves. They were getting it in. But also had some interesting names that were on the bubble. So this was Coach Prime's list of the 5 HBCU players there on the bubble. Who was that right there? That is Michael Strahan, the defensive end from Texas Southern University. And also on the bubble, we gave a shout out to my old teammate from Grambling State University, Jake Reed. Hey, that's not my list. That's Coach Prime's list of impact HBCU players during his era. Want to talk about it? Hit me up. You see me at Jaywalker Sky. Holla!
Great stuff, Jay. I love it. And we will be back with more here at the half. It's a 14-6 lead for Alabama State. Stay tuned. Mighty Hornets marching band here today from Alabama State. Jay, and the ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. 8-point lead for the Hornets here at the half. What about around the rest of the SWAC here so far and what's been happening?
Yeah, that game there between Alabama A&M, that would have been a good one, but they got to wait a little while. Coming back April 3rd, Prairie View A&M versus Alabama A&M. Two of the best offenses you're going to see out there. Akil Glass, quarterback, Alabama A&M, NFL prospect. Texas Southern down there. What's going on with Dawson's Odom squad? They got some quarterback issues they got to figure out. I don't know what happened with Skelton last week, but let's see if they get it back on track versus Texas Southern is trying to get that win. And how about this? Whoa, 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 whoa. You got to give a shout out. I breezed by you last week. I'm not going to do that this week. Doc Gamble, head coach, University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. You told me during Media Day you could score some points. The Golden Lions are in control of the Western Division of the SWAC. Maybe we'll see them there. You gave the rest, Mike, to the rest of the SWAC headline.
All right. Yeah, no, Southwestern Athletic Conference, here's what's going on. And then, April 10th, Alabama A&M, Jackson State on ESPN. See you for that one. Should be a lot of fun there as Jackson State, though, here today in an 8-point hole, trying to go to 4-0. We'll see if they can get it done. And a coaching change. How about Mark Orlando resigning from the position for Grambling State?
Yeah, that's the position that happens when you struggle a little bit and Grambling off to a very slow start. I think it was a mutual agreement between Mark Orlando and head coach Broderick Fobbs to make a move, to make a change.
All right, a little transition here now to track and field championship season here. How about senior Trevor Stewart for North Carolina A&T ran the anchor leg as the Aggies won the NCAA Indoor Championship in a 4x400 meter relay. Stewart joined by Randolph Ross Jr., Elijah Young, and Daniel Stokes to hit a 3-minute and 3-second time, the fifth fastest in NCAA history. Congrats to North Carolina A&T.
Hold up. We got to get can I get an Aggie Pride on 3? 1, 2, 3. Aggie Pride. That's a national championship for all HBCUs. Good job for that 4x4 team. Representing for HBCU Love, the national champion, A&T. See ya.
15-6 here at the half, trying to stop Jackson State's 3-0 start to this season. We have a half to go in just a little bit. But right now, time for a clip from the docuseries featuring NC Central, Why Not Us?
A couple of things. I don't know if you guys already heard the news, but Bethune-Cookman canceled their season. We got to look at that and say, okay, it's a gift and a curse. The gift is we don't have to travel to Florida 2 times and we can preserve our budget. The curse is we still need 4 more games. And I'm not quite sure they're going to be the only one. The goal for North Carolina Central basketball is to make it to the Sweet 16. In order to make it to the Sweet 16, this year during this pandemic, the NCAA is mandating that you play at least 13 games. We don't know how many games we're going to be able to get in because, trust and believe, there's going to be some cancellations. If those games are taken away, we don't get what we call the guarantee games, where we get an opportunity to go play the larger schools and get paid. When you go play those big schools, they normally give you a check in range from $70,000 to $95,000. That essentially funds your basketball program.
This all
just when you thought it couldn't get any better.
Welcome back to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. Here today from Montgomery, Alabama, Mike Corey alongside former NFL and Howard quarterback Jay Walker. And borrow an old line we used to use, Jay, bringing the flavor here today, right?
You know what? Hey, if you got a young freshman quarterback playing the way Ryan Nettles is, we like to say he knows how to move the crowd. He's moving the crowd here, giving them some hope here in Montgomery, Alabama, that the offense is going to pick it up. Been a while since they've had some offensive firepower. Rest in peace, my man, Tavares Jackson. We're always going to mention you when we can. But Ryan Nettles settling in there at the quarterback position when he had time. When he caught on fire, this was a different offense. You could tell they started attacking rather than being passive and hit some big throws, particularly late in the half. And the young freshman in a crucial home start here at home has played, I'd say, up to or better than expectation.
Touchdown pass to Hickson, to Booker. And Alabama State is going to get the ball here to start this second half, and we are underway. The shove back was Davis that time on the return. And let's see what Alabama State has to start this second half. We heard from Coach Primetime Sanders for Jackson State that his team is going to have a little bit more mojo, you think, in the second half. Here's some of the storylines of what we saw from the first frame.
Yeah, you know, they've scored. The offense from Jackson State has been generated by the defense and some special teams. So offensively, they need to get it going. But right now, I think a key possession is they need to not allow Alabama State to score coming out of the locker room at halftime and figure out a way to pressure or rattle Ryan Nettles, the freshman quarterback who seems very comfortable in this game.
Yes, he is, as he dumps it off here, and they get good yardage on first down. And up close to the 40-yard line, making the reception that time was Gray from out of the backfield. Jay, what has to probably bother Coach Prime, if you're Jackson State, is that they've picked up 2 turnovers in this game, both in Alabama State territory, and both times they had to settle for field goals.
6 points to show from it. You're talking about. I think at some point this offense is going to show up.
Ball's on the turf, and Nettles has to pick it up. Now a flag comes in.
You know what the penalty is, right? Helmet came off of a defensive player for Jackson State. He kept playing. So when Jamani Crane's helmet comes off, you're supposed to stop. But he was in the tackle. So I'm pretty sure that's what the officials called it for. You're not allowed to continue to play without a helmet.
Participating with no helmet. The tackler was in the immediate action of the tackle. Second down.
Okay. Great call, Jay. Yeah.
So they picked it up. Sure. So they said he was in the process of making the tackle. But when the helmet's off, close enough. They got it right there.
Yeah. No, you're all over it, though, and that's a good point. Pass out here now to Grantis Poole. And he's taken down. Not much happening there. It's a good job by Holmes and company for Jackson State.
When JSU is playing their style of football, their linebackers are flying all over the field, hitting people. You know, we're talking about Keontae Hampton and Aubrey Miller. You know, we're seeing Barnett, number 42. They like to impose their will. They like to make it a physical slug-out match, like we're going to hit you harder than you hit us. But they've been yet to get that type of mentality against Alabama State this evening.
Third and 13. Hornets here from their own 35-yard line, opening series of the second half. Nettles guns it. It's caught. Well shy of the first, though, by Gray. Up close to the 40, and the punt team is on. Don't risk anything here, right, Jay? I mean, you got the 8-point lead, third and 13, kind of got off schedule in that series.
Well, they are. You're up by 8 points, so that's going to have to be a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. The way your defense is playing, I don't think for the rest of the game you take any chances to jeopardize putting your defense behind the 8 ball.
Aubrey Grace, Newman back to return. Fair catch, Jackson State at his own 20. Will this draw a flag? Let's see. Nope. All right, how about some of the defense in the first half here, right? The rush defense for Alabama State.
That was on the very first series of the day. Christian Clark clogging up the middle, letting them know the running lanes are going to be far and few between in this football game. And it really started with them just neutralizing the running game, making Jackson State one-dimensional. And give credit to the big guys up front, holding Jackson State to 20 yards rushing in the first half. Wow.
Yeah, Coach Hill Illy and defensive coordinator Travis Pearson, nice job in that first half. Can they continue it here in the second? The catch is made by Corey Reed. He was one of the main targets in the first half. 4 catches, 61 yards for Jackson State. Now his 5th catch of the day here.
And to go back to what we said, strength of this team is Jackson State has the best wide receiver trio in the conference. They weren't able to get in the end zone.
Jones takes off and runs. Huge hole all the way into Alabama State territory and knocked out the 35.
We knew he could hurt you with his legs. It was a matter of time. We know Jalen Jones can take it for 20 himself on any given play. But a good job, design, quarterback draw, makes a tackler miss in the backfield. And although he's been battling a nagging hamstring injury, he kind of holds it at the end, still able to rush for yards in bunches when he steps on the gas.
41 yards, the longest play of the day for either team here today, and now Jones has to chuck it away as pressure was coming in.
Now, something to note. After a big run the last time we saw Jackson State, his throwing kind of came off. That leg was bothering him, so they actually had to pull him out of the game in the fourth quarter because he kind of tweaked his hamstring. Wanted to come back in the game, but the coaches wouldn't let him go back in. Let's just see if that bothers him at all, throwing the football in the second half.
Yeah, that one's a little overthrown, looking for Dalen Baldwin. Yeah, you said it, though, Jay, because he did. He got up kind of holding it for a little bit there. Now 3rd and 10.
And on that drop back, it seemed like he kind of froze and didn't really step into it. Look at the footwork, kind of stayed flat-footed, didn't have that bounce normally. So normally when you get the snap, he takes a 1 or 2 step drop. He kind of stood flat-footed in the pocket.
We will keep an eye on it here, 3rd and 10. Well, now he's going to take off and run. 2 for 11 on 3rd down, and they will change that and increase it to their third down pickup of the day to the 23-yard line. Nice run by Jones.
And the athleticism and the toughness. I mean, design, quarterback draw. He knows I have to make some people miss, and you're just not going to tackle Jalen Jones with defensive linemen.
12 yards on the gain. Now another throwaway as, again, more pressure coming in. That time by 45, Cameron Rampersad. And now Jones looking for a flag there. Just upset. Empty backfield, 5 wide on 2nd down. Jones' pass batted down, and another flag is thrown. That time Andrew Ogletree got in there for the deflection. Let's check the call.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 4. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Ball was batted. They put a hit on him, and I'm going to give credit to Jones on that one because on the previous play, he talked to the official about they hit me a little late and it was close, and the official gave him a hand up. Well, next time it's close, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt, and they caught Bubba Adams with hit a little bit late and giving the Tigers an automatic first down.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Jay. You're right. And now it's down to the 12-yard line. They've got first down at 10. Just under 4 minutes gone by, and Jones is taken down. And getting in there that time is Bryce Webster.
They have to shore up some things offensively with their protection because every time they bring this blitz, Adams is getting to Jones. Jones is having to make a miss, so they still have not made the adjustment protection-wise, schematically, what Alabama State is doing when they bring that blitz, and look for the Hornets to dial it up again until Jackson State shows they can stop it.
Loss of 2. Alabama State again hoping for another red zone stop and force another field goal, and this pass off the mark incomplete. And holding his leg there for the moment. Is that Baldwin or Reed? No, it's Reed. Uh-oh. Corey Reed has been the main guy today for Jackson State. He's going to come off. It's a good sign. 5 catches, 65 yards. Look at the rest of the team, 6 for 32.
He's been their go-to. He's been the go-to wide receiver for them today. And in this 3rd and 12 situation down by in the red zone, they really need his presence right now. Look for them to bring in 14 Christian Allen. See if he can replace him to make a play. But I'd really like to think that they're going to try and get the ball to Dalen Baldwin.
Yeah, they don't want to settle for another field goal attempt, but we'll see. 3rd and 12. Delay of game, Jay.
And you're like, how does that happen? I mean, you had the injury timeout and then took a little bit too much time maybe with the substitution.
Well, and they got to get something on this, because if not, it's not a gimme field goal try here now. 3rd and 17. Ball just inside the 20-yard line. 4 wide receiver set. Jones. Pressure coming in. Jones trying to escape. He's going to fumble the football. And it is recovered by his offensive lineman, the other Jalen Jones, number 75. And now they're out of field goal range on a 4th down and long. Disastrous on that last play.
You mentioned it, field goal was a possibility, but when you take a sack of this nature, moving back the way their kicking game is, you got to be thinking, get rid of the football, but a great job of tracking down a very speedy Jalen Jones. Is that Andre? That's Mississippi.
12-yard loss on the sack, but what a punt by Lane McGregor down at the 1-yard line. Exactly what they needed after that sequence. Alabama State at their own 1 when we return. On and off the field. He talked about some of the players, the coaches and the mentors that he looks up to, Jay. How about this guy, Joe Taylor?
Oh, man, Joe Taylor, one of the winningest coaches all time. He's number 4 there. And the job he did at Hampton, I don't know, that run they've had, they're still chasing. That's how good a coach that Coach Taylor was, with the number of national championships he won and put guys like Justin Durant in the league. And Joe Taylor, quality individual, and still doing things now. And he's the guy that Coach Hill Ely said, that's like my father. Talk to him all the time and won't hesitate. And it was so interesting to see, Coach Taylor be the legendary coach of the conference, a historian, to where Don Hill Ely's now one of the longest tenured HBCU coaches for a while. And now he's the father figure that a lot of young coaches call and ask him for advice.
Yeah, he said Taylor's the one that got him into the game of football, and how he's been able to extend an ear to him on all that he has needed, and especially during this season. Also mentioned Bill Hayes, Pete Richardson, among others, that have helped Hill Ely flag us down here for Alabama State.
Just the offense. After distance to the goal, second.
Let's give credit where credit is due. We kind of knocked you see the career of Coach Healy. Most people know him from that run he had at Morgan State, head coach at Morgan State for 12 years, brought him back to respectable when the Bears were kind of non-existent in the football landscape.
Look out, Gray in the end zone. He fumbles the ball out of bounds. Ezra Gray, that was going nowhere right from the start. Safety. Now a 6-point game.
Help me figure this out, Mike. Help me figure this out. Shotgun in the end zone, jet sweep. Now, jet sweeps are high-risk, high-reward plays.
Yeah, it was pretty suspect from the beginning.
You can tell this is really crispy, juicy, and tender, because we wouldn't take the time.
Way they've got the 8 points today here, Jay, off the Alabama State interception, off of a fumble, and then a safety, thanks in large part to Justin Reagan, you saw right there, knocking the ball out of Ezra Gray's hands in the middle of the end zone, and it's 14-8.
This is what you tell your team. You know you haven't played good football, but yet a touchdown puts you, in the lead. So they persevered. And, when you're playing a game of football, particularly on the road, things never go 100% right. But you want to put yourself in a position to win a football game, and they've been competitive. They found a way to keep it close.
Nice kickoff here. And now it goes out of bounds. So, for the moment. But, Jay, I thought your point was well taken. I mean, Alabama State, what were they doing? I mean, running a shotgun, middle of the end zone, so you're already 5 yards back in the end zone. And then a sweep where everybody's coming after you. Just not usually too critical, but on that one, you certainly can be, because that play had no chance.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, the fact that Reagan, the defensive end, made the tackle, he's been very active in this football game. I would like to see them call the play just more downhill, but let's not forget the play before that, previous play before that, they were called for a penalty, which pushed them back a little bit further.
And so the field position here now for Jackson State at midfield to start this drive, now down only 6. Jones has been doing this recently, taking off and running, and now Alabama State, Jay's got to try to find an answer for this.
I mean, he's just, he's had that feeling. He was a 4-star recruit out of high school for a reason. Signed with the University of Florida. Now he's here at Jackson. He was that dual threat guy that when you see him, he's got legs. He's one of the fastest guys on the team. You ask the coaches about him. If you had to run him in a 40-yard dash, they think he would be right up there within the top 3. That type of speed at a quarterback position gives defenses nightmares.
Not much in that last play to Alexander. No gain, in fact. But Jones now has 3 rushes of 10-plus yards in this second half alone. Halfway through the third, Jones again. Head down to the 30-yard line. Tackle made by Devontae Webster.
Jones, he takes a licking and he keeps on ticking, right? The old old watch commercial, but I think you have to be cautious how many times you go to that play. Quarterbacks, aren't built for the wear and tear of a running back to take so much contact on design runs.
Another 10-yard gain. Now they changed it back up to Alexander to give Jones a little bit of a breather there. And he gets forward for a couple of yards, but how big was that safety, right? I mean, it was an 8-point game, so still obviously a 1-possession game, but now they don't have to worry about the going for 2. And to make it a 6-point game, and all of a sudden Jackson State, which has not had the offense that they were hoping for in this game, have a chance here. 6.5 to go in the third to take the lead. Pressure coming in. Alexander is swarmed under. And Romello Tarver again. And also Brandon Gaddy, 99.
So impressive. Just a 3-man defensive line. But they're big boys up there. They're 3-4 guys. Gaddy, 6'3", 311 pounds. Tarver, 6'3", 300 pounds. So this is a huge 3-man defensive line, which has done a pretty good job stopping the running backs, but can't quite catch the quarterback.
3rd and 11 to the sideline. Catch is made, and that is Reed, who's come back in. He was banged up a little bit earlier, went into the tent to get checked out, and apparently seems fine after that first down reception.
Yeah, this is a great job. This is really good coverage by Burgess, the freshman, but he takes a little bit of an aggressive route, thinks he's going to get an interception. Reed with the hands to come back and help his quarterback.
What a grab by Reed to go up and grab that ball. Timeout, Alabama State. And now it's 1st and 10 for Jackson State when we come back. Noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on ESPN. Here's some of our featured games. Middle Tennessee and Tennessee. That's at 2 o'clock. And then Jackson State on the women's side, college basketball taking on Baylor. And then we got Mercer, South Carolina, High Point, UConn. That's on Sunday. All that coming your way with the NCAA Women's Championship on the ESPN app. Also as well, you can watch it anywhere you are. And Texas Southern and Norfolk State. How about that here in men's basketball, Jay?
Yes, sir.
Congrats to them.
Yes, sir. Give it up. Historic day. MEAC and SWAC representing. And let's see if JSU can get it done against Baylor for the upset for the women.
Yeah, first time that the SWAC and the MEAC teams from each league won a tournament game.
Now, they've won games in the tournament before. Some of the biggest upsets. We call ourselves giant killers. HBCUs, we were like the first one to have the 15 seeds knocking off 2 seeds. Southern University, Bobby Fields in that group there. Then you talk about the Coppin State team that knocked off Iowa State, I believe it was, 15-2. So it can be done.
2nd down and 9 now. Jackson State in the red zone. Jones fires, caught, Reed, touchdown. And Jackson State ties it up at 14, a 17-yard touchdown strike.
And a great job of going through his keys. Look at this. I like the design of this play. He's got a deep corner route. He's got an intermediate throw underneath, and he had a short route right in front of him in the flat. 3-level throw. See him find the 2nd level. Nice separation. Nice play design by the offense. Uh-oh. No, it didn't. Oh, barely. Oh. Oh, Coach Prime would have had a fit. His quote was, "You got to give me my extra points. If we work the score, give me the extra points." And you see the extra point bug almost bit him again. I mean,
yeah,
that was close. If he was another 2 yards out, he would have missed it.
He's had a fit 5 times on extra points this year, Jay, because that's how many that Jackson State has missed already this season. That's not good. But now 11 of 16 on the season, and Jackson State has the lead. Look at the third quarter scoring. First 3 games, they had 6 points in the third quarter. And today they got 9. So the way they've scored and dominated those first 3 games. And it's their first lead now.
And I think good coaches always make their best adjustments during the halftime. And I thought this was an opportunity for Coach Prime to go in there and coach him up. Jump on him a little bit, trailing. And what do you say at the end right now? This team got the lead back in the third quarter. So they made adjustments, showing some resiliency.
Should say the first lead for Jackson State since they were up 3-0 way a long time ago early in the first quarter of this game, as Gray on the return. Let's show you how we got to this point here, Jay.
Good special teams play by Jackson State. Give them credit. Able to pin Alabama State on the 1-yard line, almost the 1-foot line, and then trying to run a jet sweep in the end zone. White jersey after white jersey. Able to knock the football loose to get the safety. And then the offense able to capitalize on a short field. And just like that, Jackson State up by 1 here in the third quarter.
So a 9-point swing right there from the safety and then to the touchdown and the extra point. And now Alabama State going back to work, looking for Jeremiah Hickson. Was Nettles, and it's incomplete.
If you're going to throw the football against if you're Alabama State, you want to throw the ball against Jackson State. I think the weakness you can find some creases is behind those linebackers. Their linebackers are so aggressive. With any type of play action fake, you freeze them, and wide receivers have been able to get behind them in the second level.
Nettles look out, it's intercepted. Picked off by Warren. And Dejan Nugget Warren still going inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Flag is thrown. And you can see that coming all the way as Warren jumped the route and has the pick.
I said if you want to have success throwing the football, it's the crease behind the linebackers. Don't mess with those cornerbacks out wide unless you're absolutely sure. Freshman mistake, and the fans came from the sit over here in Alabama.
See if we can hear what the call is here. Multiple flags down. Well, targeting is the call. We'll take a look at it here. I can't hear the number or see who they call it on, but is it on there? Let's see. All right, so Warren, after the interception, and coming in there was the running back, Ja'Cory Merritt, trying to make the tackle at the end. So it's Warren. There's number 2. That's who the targeting is on. That's Merritt for Alabama State.
And I'm sure Jackson State fans are saying yes after they were called for numerous targeting penalties and infractions versus Grambling. Seems that the officials called it fair, and I think that is targeting to a T. Had no intention on using his shoulders
and that's
for the
one
wrap.
of your running backs. I mean, that's not normally how that would play for them. Usually defensive player, but on this turnover, your running back, Ja'Cory Merritt, he's called for the targeting. I mean, offensive guys aren't used to be making tackles. And we believe this is going to be upheld here with 4:27 to go.
The That's an ejection.
Yep.
I think that's the ejection type. Did not come over with his shoulders at all, intending to make a wrap tackle. That's what they're trying to get out of the game of football. Could be frustrating there, but as you mentioned, Mike, this offensive player is not used to wrapping up in practice. It's not what they do. In this case, it's not only going to probably lead to an ejection, but it's going to move the ball a little bit closer to the goal line for Jackson State.
Certainly ducked ahead and leading with the crown of the helmet. Targeting was the call. Warren okay, and now after the pick, it's another opportunity for Jackson State to tack on points off of a turnover of Alabama State.
Man, let's not lose sight of what a fantastic jump on the ball that was by Warren. Your head coach is a Hall of Fame defensive back. You want to please and play the same position, and you know that Prime was proud of that one.
Yep. Yep, I mean, the call stands, Ken, here, but Corey Merritt is ejected, and that's it. He's done for the rest of the game, and the call is confirmed, and their sophomore running back out of the rest of this one. 4:27 remaining now in the third. 1 point lead for Jackson State, and they've got first and goal coming up here.
Up by one, got to get it in. Make sure they find a way to get it in. And one of the things we haven't seen from the running game has been Kamani Clark. 23 for them. Going with their inside-outside runner. Alexander's had a tough time breaking anything. You wonder if they go to maybe a little change of pace running back.
You know, all these DBs, right, Jay, have to be feeling it when they make a play like that for Coach Prime, right? I mean, to do that, it's just, all right. It's like exactly what Coach wants to see and what we used to see Prime Time do back in the day. And how he works with the DBs and how he works with those guys. I mean, you can't have a better teacher, right? I mean, you got to love that if you're a defensive player.
It looked like last week after the interception celebrations, he kind of taught him how to do the primetime shuffle, too.
Yeah. 3 for 3 in the red zone is Jackson State. Alexander, and he is hit hard from behind, taken down there by Cameron Rampersad.
Rampersad's played a great game, hasn't he, from his defensive end position.
Timeout here. Injured player. That's Christian Clark, I believe, 94, who's down. Let's go back to that interception here by Warren, Jay.
I mean, just a great jump on the ball and got aggressive when he saw the ball was in the air. Continued running and got an extra penalty on the end. And you mentioned if you're going to play cornerback at Jackson State, guess what? You're going to get coached up now. And this is him even working with the wide receivers, kind of showing the DBs how you anticipate the break. That's just natural instinct. You can tell he can look at the hips and see when they're turning. So, you know, having a coach like Prime is like having a great library in your neighborhood. You know, if you're not reading the books and using it, then what's it there for? It's just a building. So if you're not picking up the knowledge and expertise that he and his coaching staff bring to you, then you're just going to school.
Second and goal for Jackson State. Alexander in the backfield. Jones, keeper, touchdown. Jalen Jones 3-yard run for Jackson State's quarterback, and they tack on 6 more.
Here's what I go to. Nothing in the book says you go for 2 in this situation. You see Jones punching in. It's amazing to me how line seems to block a little bit harder when the quarterback's running the football than the running back down in the red zone. But going for 2 just because I think he saw that scare the last time he went for the extra point. You all stay back. He's going for 2 because nothing says go for 2 in this situation.
No, you know what? It's a great call. It really is. Jones here, dropping back, fires, end zone. It's incomplete. But yeah, he thinks, hey, if I'm going to be that close to a miss and be in the same situation as up by 7, I might as well take a chance to get 2 and make it a 2-possession game. I like the call. I think it's a smart call by Coach Prime there.
You like it. Everybody loves it until you don't convert. And now, now they're a touchdown and an extra point away from tying the football game. So, you know, we talk about some of the unconventional ways of Coach Sanders and Coach Prime. Can't knock him for being aggressive. You know, he's aggressive with it, but it's those things that are people just trying to figure out the book, and I don't think he wants you to figure him out.
Hey, well, you know, I mean, he's not going to do everything by the book, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. He brings so much to the table for Jackson State, a team that is 3-0 right now, attempting to go to 4-0 for the first time in 25 years. They're ranked for the first time since 2011. And I think it shows great character, too, by a team, right, Jay, that was down early, that hasn't been faced with that situation that much this season, and has overcome it, and now has completely flipped the script here and is on the offensive.
And I think you said he's not going to be by the book, and let's give him credit, because if he was by the book, he probably may not have taken the challenge at Jackson State University. But since he's there, he's putting everything into the program, into the kids, into the other sports, into the city of Jackson, into the fan base. He's all in. And, you know, when you ask Coach Prime, he'll say, oh, I'm going by the book, but it's my book. And his book has something to do with his sleeve right there. So he's a believer, and he's starting to make a lot of people believers in a team that fought hard here on the road, ranked 21st in FCS football. And that's been the story of the HBCU and the FCS. I'm not going to limit it to HBCU. It's been the story of the FCS spring football season.
31-yard return by Gray to the 45-yard line. Best starting field position of the day for Alabama State as they go back to Gray on first down.
Part of the ball game.
Tackled by Hampton.
Where Hampton and Aubrey Miller start to show up. You know, they start thumping a little bit.
Second down give again to Gray. Not much happening here. And it's going to be 3rd and long now for Alabama State late in this third quarter.
You can understand, you know, why they've come out with consecutive runs, you know, trying to settle a quarterback down after throwing an interception. But if you're going to try and come back in this game, you can't allow that linebacker core for Jackson State to know the run is coming.
3rd and 6, Alabama State. Nettles. Solid throw. Oh, what a catch. Booker, is he in? Out of bounds. Catch made, no foot down. Nice job by Booker to go up and grab that, though.
Sometimes we have to tell him, Mama, you better stop messing with that man over there. Throwing the ball around Warren is dangerous. But how about the heart of Nettles to go right back after him?
Are they going for this here? Yes, they no, punt time here. I was going to say 4th and 6. And you know what, Jay? It just kind of reminded me, probably back when you were playing, right? Remember the old force out? You know, that player would have come down inbounds, but you pushed him out, and you got credit for being down inbounds. I could never understand that. It's like, oh, it was a force out. It's like, yeah, I know. I pushed him out. That's why he didn't come down inbounds. Like, why does he get credit for that? And they finally changed that rule.
Yeah, it was a good change.
Well, Jackson State, how have they made this comeback? They found something here with their quarterback, right? Design runs here for Jones.
Using the athleticism, so the number counts were not accounting for Jones in the running game, but even though his leg has been bothering him a little bit, he continued to sacrifice his body and come up with big runs to keep his offense on the field and ultimately help them gain the lead.
Worst starting field position of the day for Jackson State, but they have the momentum now, and Tyson Alexander carries for a solid gain on first down. Jeffrey Scott on the tackle.
We're starting to see Alabama State defensive line getting worn down a little bit. A number of backups in the game right now. We've seen guys run to the sideline.
Jones's pass is caught by Baldwin.
Oh, well, that is first catch of the day. I believe it may be his first catch.
It's his second catch.
Second catch, 3 touchdowns a week ago, but it's been the Corey Reed show in the passing game. And when you've got a good check with the wide receivers, some weeks are going to belong to another, and other weeks it'll be another guy's day.
No, you're right, Jay. I mean, it has been Reed today. He had 7 catches for 94 yards. Baldwin had the 1 catch for 5 yards until that last one, which was a gain of 8. Coach Prime not happy with the offense there with that call. 1st and 15 now. He doesn't want to stall the momentum that his offense has built up here and this 7-point lead. Alexander makes a man miss. That's huge. First down run down the sideline. Did he step out? No call. He's still on his feet. And finally tracked down at the 25-yard line at Alabama State. We'll have to look at that again.
Mr. Excitement makes a defender miss in the open field, and let's see. I don't see anything that tells me he was out of bounds. What a great run by Tyson Alexander. You can bottle him up all you want, but sooner or later, he finds a way to break the big one.
He stayed in. Think about this, Jay. 14 carries for 23 yards all day prior to this run for Alexander, and then he just ripped off 48. UFC Fight Night comes your way tonight. Don't miss that from Las Vegas. Another big card. We got 7th-ranked Derek Brunson. He's won 3 straight. And then 10th-ranked Kevin Holland, who's won 5 straight. That's coming your way tonight. That's the middleweight main event. Prelims start at 7, followed by the main card on ESPN and ESPN Plus. Don't miss UFC Fight Night tonight on ESPN. Third quarter, it's belonged to Jackson State. They were down 14-8 at the half. 14-6, excuse me. And they've come back to take a 21-14 advantage now. Bad snap. Jones has to cover it up as Culpepper comes in.
The corner blitz. They brought Culpepper from the corner, number 5. He's a cornerback. And trying to change the protection. Didn't account for him, and unfortunately, they still fell on that fumble.
It's so big here if you're Alabama State. Try to hold them, and because, again, their field goal kicker, they don't have the range, so right now, 2nd and 16. See if they bring any pressure here. No, it's pass over the middle, incomplete. No flags, looking for Baldwin. So So 3rd and 16.
And although they've been outplayed thoroughly here in the third quarter, it's like the same story we said for Jackson State. Things were bad for them in the first half, but they were only down by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Well, if you're at Alabama State, things have gotten bad for you kind of quickly, but you make a stop here, and you're still just down by a touchdown and an extra point.
Correct. Swing out pass. Oh, it was deflected off the wideout, caught by the offensive lineman. The other Jalen Jones.
Yes. Jalen Jones to Jalen Jones with the assist from this Newman they're trying to run the wide receiver screen to. Ball gets in the air, and Jalen Jones said, I'll take that.
You see that in the box score, and they're like, yeah, they messed that one up. It's like, no, they actually didn't. It's Jalen Jones, the quarterback, spelled Jalon, and then Jalen Jones on that catch. We've reached the end of the third quarter. Back with a fourth from Montgomery after this.
When was the last time you experienced something different?
Baptist Church here as we have a 21-14 ball game. Jackson State over Alabama State. Start of the fourth quarter here today with you on ESPN. Thanks for joining us. College football presented by McDonald's. Mike Corey and former NFL and Howard quarterback Jay Walker. Start of the fourth begins with a 4th and 14, and Jackson State will punt. Lane McGregor, last time he did, they downed it at the 1-yard line. It set up a safety and then led to a touchdown. This time it's going to be down at the 5, and we'll see what happens here as we just begin the fourth quarter of play.
And let's not forget, that was a turning point in that third quarter when they were able to pin Alabama State back against their 1-yard line. Same type situation, special teams, the punt coverage. Got them on the 1-yard line. They got the safety. Then with the great field position, took the lead in the football game.
Only 15 yards of offense for Alabama State in that third quarter. Completely flipped from their first half performance. And Coach Prime said it, you know, for Jackson State, Deion Sanders, he said, hey, I'm excited. Can't wait to come out for the second half. And he was right. Does Alabama State have an answer? The catch is made. Jeremiah Hickson, and his helmet comes off. A big shot. Nice reception. He's going to go out.
Backed up, you know, they're thinking go for another safety, the defensive line, but a good job with a nice clean pocket, allowing Nettles to deliver a strike to Hickson. They're going to need some more big throws from Nettles to get the lead back.
Huge play to get breathing room and not let what happened before happen again. This pass incomplete, looking for Tevin Sharp, the wide out. All right, Jay, how about Nettles' performance here? First half to the second half. What do you see going on right now?
First half, he looked seasoned, like the moment wasn't too big for him. The second half, particularly that third quarter, I think he got confused a little bit. They changed some things on him, had the cornerback start squatting on some of the short routes that he was making decisions on, and that confused him a little bit and resulted in an interception return. But plenty of football left, and he's been tested. Won a state championship in Alabama in high school, so hopefully he can settle down and readjust. Just throw.
To his top target today, Michael Jefferson on the catch. That is his 7th catch of the day for 45 total yards.
See there, get it to him before the linebacker can come over. And that's that crease I'm talking about, because Miller in particular likes to really focus on that run. He's that run stopper. You can kind of find him on the field and put him in pass coverage and get some big chunks of yardage.
Now to Ezra Gray on the ground, and Gray with his 15th carry of the day. Just over 54 yards of action. And we remind you for that next SWAC game with Jackson State coming up on April 10th at 3 o'clock. Is now on ESPN.
And that's going to be a big one. Cornell Maynard and the Alabama A&M Bulldogs will take on the Jackson State.
2nd and 7. Nettles has a man wide open over the middle. It's Terrence Ellis. And it's a first down now into Jackson State territory.
And 4-man rush, just not able to get there. I mean, good job of blocking. That's a comfortable pocket for a quarterback to have. And, I mean, that's kind of the philosophy. You know, they want to rush forward. They really don't want to bring that extra guy. And if they bring the linebackers, they got bad intentions, but they want their front four to be able to collapse the pocket.
Now Nettles finds Jefferson, and a huge catch again. What a play. And all of a sudden, Nettles is back to the way he was playing in the first half, or better, Jay.
You know, as a freshman, I think he's making his read simple. I'm going to find Jefferson, and if Jefferson's not open, then I'll throw to somebody else. And trust me, quarterbacks do that from time to time. When they're having a hard time reading coverage, let me see if they take away my best weapon.
1st and 10 after the 31-yard gain. Now Nettles takes off and runs, and he gets to the 11-yard line. Brought down there by Aubrey Miller Jr., transfer out of Missouri, the linebacker, gain of 6.
And I go tempo right here. This has been a long drive. This drive started back on the 5 or 6 yard line in your own territory. You're moving the ball. Their defensive line hasn't really gotten pressure on you. So you know they must be a little tired. You see they're taking their time getting 3-point stands. This is the time to use a little tempo.
This is the 8th play of the drive as Gray spins off tacklers, gets inside the 5. And you called it, Jay. They went from their own 5 to now inside the Jackson State 5, and it's setting up 1st and goal.
Yeah, you got them on the ropes. I go up tempo on them right now. Don't let them breathe. Get to the line of scrimmage and get the ball in the hands of Ezra Gray and see if they can catch him.
They had an 89-yard drive earlier for a touchdown. This could be a 95-yard drive. And it's going to be stalled here as Gray is shoved back. 2nd and goal.
You know, for as smart as back as Ezra Gray is, he missed the holder. There was a crease there on the left side for a move, and he actually decided to turn in rather than just slide slightly off tackle, which I think he'd have gotten the end zone easily.
Second and goal, Gray in the backfield. Hickson is in the slot, the bottom of the screen. Corker, wide receiver to the top. It's Gray. It's Gray for the touchdown.
Mike, he's a smart kid. He missed it the first time, but he found the Cliff Notes version, and the hole that I said was there on the previous play was there again, and he found it on that left side running off that left tackle, Trayvon Taylor. This time he had the patience to find the cut and get into the end zone.
You said it, Jay. They gave him another crack at it, and he succeeded. How about that drive? 10 plays, 95 yards, and 358. They never went to 3rd down on the drive. And the extra point by Hunter Hansen is good, and we are tied at 21. What a game here today between Jackson State and Alabama State. Knotted here in the 4th. We're back to ESPN College Football, presented by McDonald's. Montgomery, Alabama today, here at ASU Stadium, home of Alabama State. And the fans and the band, 6,500 allowed in today, 25% capacity. And they have been treated to a great one here, Jay. Tied at 21, 4th quarter. Here we go.
They keep it entertaining, and if you're a fan of Jackson State, you don't mind it being entertaining as long as you keep walking away with the W's. And if you're Alabama State, the team that you've won 5 or 6 from the last 6 contests, the Hornets have won 5. They want to keep their streak going. And good to see a little college football in the air. You got the marching band, you got the Stingettes. Yes, the Honeybees are down here too, folks. I know they've got a contingency of fans as well. Tell Adam Coppinger, our producer, he knows he's going to get in trouble if you do not show Stingettes and Honeybees now.
return. Look out. Big run coming here from Colton. And make it Dante Norris. Or check it. This is for Jackson State. It's Dejon Warren. And he's in for the touchdown. Warren goes the distance. Dejon Warren on the kickoff return. A calm nugget. And that was fast.
Only thing to worry about is did he step out of bounds? But we talked about the athleticism. He's a primetime player. And he,
Did he step out? Let's see. You have to take a look at that.
2 steps. Yeah, it looked like 2 steps they at least have to review, and because it's a scoring play, it'll generate a review. That one I'm going to say no. That one I'm going to say.
Wow, that's very close.
What a job by Warren. You know Coach Prime is loving that. Guy that can play cornerback and play special teams for you, return specialist. That angle looks like it'd be impossible almost for that foot not to be out of bounds. What do you see, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, whether the heel is down, though, and the toe looks to be on the line, that's probably your best shot at it. Though, again, got to be indisputable video evidence, and that's why the call on the field is so important, because if there's not enough to overturn it, the call on the field's a touchdown. He did not step out. And Dejon Warren, who's been outstanding, junior cornerback, and now return man.
Making the folks proud over in Prince George's County. He's from Landover, Maryland. And I remember when we first talked to Coach Prime and asked him to assess his team, the one thing he did know is he had some top-tier quarterbacks on the corner.
Stepped out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes and 45 seconds.
All right, so Warren at that foot, they say he was out, and they reset it to 10:45. So ever so slightly, here it is.
And they say the 47-yard line would be right there. But
it's really hard to tell there on this angle, Jay. That's why with that other shot, that's why I said you can't see where that heel or the toe is. I mean, that, to me, I don't think it definitively tells you that he was out of bounds.
I agree. That right there does, but every time we watched it, it seemed like you kept seeing the green grass.
Right.
I would have let it stay.
Third time today, though, they're starting in Alabama State territory. The pass is caught by Reed. You know, and that's, you know, there's good and the bad to the replay, right? I mean, you could slow and stop and freeze anything you want to prove a point, potentially. I just don't know if that was a clear enough shot. But that was the call, and now it's Jones here. He's in trouble, and he's going to be taken down. And in the backfield, that was Jake Howard, and makes the play for Alabama State.
This is that blitz we talked about. Until you show you can block it, you're going to see it again. They're bringing linebackers, and they're covering every gap you've got. And Jackson State has not shown the ability to pick it up. And in that case, Jalen Jones almost outran the blitz. But you know, when things got tight, they were going to go right back to that blitz.
And they're right back on him. And as he throws, it is incomplete. Dangerous. Almost intercepted. Wanted Warren Newman. And it's 4th and 9. So think about this. What could have been a touchdown on the kickoff return. Called back. And now 4th and 9. And Alabama State is going to get this ball back. And we're tied at 21.
You see the Jackson State offensive staff with the offensive line. You got Coach Prime asking, why can't we protect our quarterback? Well, the first one, it's schematically. They're shooting you with that A-gap blitz with their linebackers coming free to your quarterback. The second time, the lineman just missed blocks.
Jeremiah Hickson is deep here for Alabama State. He lets it go out of bounds. And a huge call here in this fourth quarter. So close to what could have been a kickoff return for a touchdown. Dejon Nugget Warren. He stepped out, and instead Jackson State had a punt. We're still tied at 21. Fun one today here from Montgomery, Alabama. We're tied at 21, 9:36 to go in the contest. Jackson State and Alabama State. Here's a look at the SWAC standings right now and where these teams reside in just a moment. This is how big this game is here for these two. And Jackson State trying to go to 4-0 on the season. Starting field position at the 14-yard line for Alabama State. They go to Gray, and he gets up to the 20-yard line. Here's a look at that now and what the separation could be, Jay, if Jackson State is able to win this ball game over on the east side.
They would be in control. They'll be, in control, but they still have that matchup. Let's not forget about that matchup with Alabama A&M. Is going to be epic, and we'll be there for the contest. And it's stepping up. What's so unique about it, like a lot of these home and home games, who you defeat and where you beat them will determine where the home field advantage will go for the SWAC championship. But Ezra Gray trying to keep his hopes alive.
Gets up to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 17 and a first down.
And he's starting to find some running lanes, bouncing it to that left side of the offensive line. The key was with the. Keep in mind, Nettles hasn't really been sacked, and Alabama State has 5 first-year starters on their offensive line, including the 4 freshmen.
That's a great point. We have not talked that much about it, and it really is pretty impressive the way this Alabama State group is performing up front. They're keeping Nettles protected, and there it is, Jay. 4 redshirt freshmen and a sophomore on the Alabama State offensive line.
And a redshirt freshman quarterback.
Right.
Just like Coach Prime has a saying, if folks don't get him at Jackson State now, because he has new players that are coming that we know the class he signed, hey, if you don't jump on Alabama State now, these young puppies are going to grow up into some mean dogs one day.
What a cutback by Gray. And he's taken down by C.J. Holmes. Close to the first down, and let's see if they give it to him here. It is a first down. Eight-yard run. 8 minutes to go.
First down's been the key. When they can pick up positive yards on first down, this offense gets in sync and they find a rhythm.
From the 48, Nettles, quick pass to the sideline, and it's going to be a 2-yard gain on the catch by Terrence Ellis as we have approached the halfway point of this fourth quarter.
And that's where you need the freshman to throw you a little bit more catchable ball. Nettles was open in the flat with nobody within 5 or 6 yards, but because the throw got a little bit high to Ellis, forced him to leave his feet, and you have to settle for a 2 or 3 yard completion, which could have been with a more catchable ball. Catch, turn up field, pick up 5, 6 yards instead of just the 2.
Second down and 8. Look out, it's Gray. He breaks free. Ezra Gray. Pater, touchdown.
Oh, yeah. The babies are growing up, and this college football. Sting gets into it. Coach Prime on the ropes. The fans here in Montgomery watching their team put up a good effort. and the academic All-American from Lynn Haven, Florida, one of the smartest kids in college football today, able to find the end zone.
49-yard run for the touchdown. He's got a $148 today on 22 carries and 2 TDs. How about that? Averaging 6.6 a carry now thanks to that long run. And Hunter Hansen to add the extra point, but we have flags down.
Five-yard penalty. Replay the try.
Extra point is good.
Hey, you knew it was a matter of time before Mr. All-American showed up and made a huge impact on this game. Down in the Gump, Hornets are up by 7.
I don't think you can ever have too much cookie. Sonic, Oreo, Big Scoop, Cookie Dough, Blast, and Sundae.
Cookie E.
Alabama State back in front over Jackson State. 6:53 to play in the contest here. Trying to win 6 out of the last 7 versus the Tigers. We'll see if they can do it. Mike Corey and Jay Walker. There's Coach Prime, Deion Sanders for Jackson State. Thought his team would be up 7, right? And now find themselves trailing by 7. And that kickoff return called back. Does Warren get another chance at it? No, it's an up man this time. A little bit of a shoving after the end of the play. Jay, back to 2011. Last time that Jackson State was 3-0, taking on Alabama State. And the Hornets got it done again.
Oh, man, why'd you bring that up, man? Why'd you bring that up? See, folks are going to say you're trying to start something there, but it is what it is, and Jackson State trying to avoid that. And, you know, that brings up something interesting. I'd love to hear from the fans I'll tell you after this question, after this play. Challenge the fans, get their opinion on something.
Jones on the keeper, look out. Quarterback Jalen Jones trying to get it back here for Jackson State.
Good job by Jones calling his own number, but when we saw the video of Jackson State playing Alabama State, good job picking up off the turf. But you notice that video we saw when they played years ago? All you saw was blue, right? JSU's known for that blue. Blue, blue, blue. They've got a lot of red. I wonder what the JSU faithful think about the red kind of, becoming one of the more dominating colors in that. So give me your thoughts on that at Jay Walker Sky. Just want to know. Everybody likes uniform combinations.
Yeah, that is a good point. This pass almost intercepted here by Davis. There's Sean Davis.
And rushing them. You know, I think you're going to see that blitz they're going to bring again if they ever get into another third down situation in which they know they can disrupt the timing of Jackson State.
Alexander taken down from behind by Brandon Gaddy.
And I like Gaddy. Gaddy's a good one. 6'3", 311. He's played a whale of a game. Filling in for Christian Clark a little bit and stopping the run.
Transfer out of Maryland, number 99 for Alabama State, who just headed out. Here we go, 3rd and 9 now for Jackson State. Huge play coming up, 5:40 to go. Jones gets away from pressure, throws on the run, and a sliding grab is made by Warren Newman. first down. 16 yards.
Watch this sliding down to go help his quarterback. Uh-oh. Better snap it.
Bounce. Yeah. Didn't get it off in time.
And the first one walking to the sidelines, number 10, Newman, at the top of your screen, like, oh, you might have caught us, coach.
Free of players on the further review.
We'll take a look at it, and we'll step aside. 28-21. Is this a catch by Newman? We'll get the official call when we come back.
ESPN College Football is presented by McDonald's.
Mike Corey, Jay Walker. Jay, I was joking with you there at the timeout here. I said, watch him give him the catch to Warren Newman. We both believe that the ball hit the ground here, but now Jackson State kind of gets it back after the other one was overturned.
It'll bounce it out. And here's the key. I mean, hands are kind of spread. Ball seems to ricochet a little bit off the ground, but they go with it. Field. They stuck with the call on the field, so take advantage of the opportunity if you're Jackson State.
Oh, they just had the kickoff return that went for a touchdown by Dejon Warren, called back to the 47-yard line of Alabama State side in the last sequence, and they had a punt. Now they get the benefit of this play, and Jones takes off, and he gets another first down. And Jalen Jones has been outstanding rushing the football in this second half. It's a 14-yard gain.
And they've called his number. And these are design quarterback runs. Give credit to Tyson Alexander, his running back, getting involved in the blocking game and finding some holes. And Jalen Jones, another gutsy performance for this Tiger offense.
Jones with 15 rushes for 89 yards, 6 of 10 or more this half. And the handoff goes to Alexander. And he's shut down with just under 5 minutes to go in this game.
Now that they're in this zone, if I'm Jackson State, I'm thinking they're going to bring that blitz, right? So any pass plays I call, I have to have an automatic built hot route in there. Because Alabama State is going to bring that blitz. See, here they come. They're coming. Now, they want to see if you can protect it and throw it quick. So you help out your quarterback by moving the pocket or sliding the protection towards where you think the blitz is coming from.
Corey Reed, number 9, bottom of your screen, 8 catches, 99 yards, and a touchdown today. Do they go that way? He looks left.
Gotta get rid of it.
Jones fumbles it. And it's recovered by Jones. He's able to get back on it, Jay. Wow, what a dangerous play there.
I mean, yes or no, did Skywalker tell you they were bringing that blitz? You were going to see it again at a crucial point. And schematically, they still haven't figured it out. They still haven't figured it out. You have to move your line, call some protection, because a comfortable quarterback loves to see a blitz coming. And wow, that ball came right back to them. They were lucky.
Fourth fumble of the day for Jackson State, but they did not lose any as of yet. 3rd and 20 now from the 27.
Here it comes.
Pressure again. The pass is caught. Oh, what a reception. Christian Allen.
Oh, my. And what a throw by Jalen Jones. Knowing he was going to get lit up. Here comes the blitz. Still gets rid of it to give his guy a chance to make a great play. Do you believe, JSU? Do you believe?
Right in front of the streaking Natron Culpepper for Alabama State, who almost had a pick. Instead, it's 1st and goal. Jones, end zone, incomplete. Flag is down. Wanted Dalen Baldwin.
Oh, man. I mean, on that 3rd down, they did everything right. Had him throw the ball early, but it was just tremendous concentration by Christian Allen.
Pass interference. Defense, number 5. The foul help in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, on Culpepper. Natron Culpepper defending. Here we go. First and goal now from the 2. Jones keeps it and is tripped up. He's going to lose a yard. Another flag here.
This is against the offense. This is big. Defense doesn't hurt you as much, just half the distance.
Out to the play. Second down.
Who's it on?
All right, unsportsmanlike conduct. But yeah, I was breaking up there.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 2 minutes and 40.
So it looks like they're marching it back like it was against the offense, and that's a huge penalty.
Wow. And they did, and it's on Jackson State. And we apologize, we can't hear the number, and we are not there, but they did back them up. So obviously it's on the Tigers, and at the 18-yard line now. Wow, you said it, Jay. If that was on the defense, okay, not so much of a big deal. Offensively, they were at the 2, then the 3-yard line, and it's a 15-yard penalty.
They're calling hands to the face. Sports-like conduct. They gave 2 different things we couldn't hear.
Okay, it's in the bottom of your screen there in number 81. Yeah, Robert Washington Jr. He just shoved, looked like Davis, right into his helmet there. So it's on Robert Washington Jr., 81 for Jackson State. No reason for that whatsoever, right?
Well,
play was over. No big deal. And a little tough penalty there now for the Tigers. Backed up 3rd and goal, but from the 18. Now what do you do?
Protect Jalen Jones first and foremost. And Alabama State's going to bring that blitz. Right now is the time. If they're going to bring it, you bring it right now. And that's been the one thing they've been able to get to Jalen Jones with. And if I'm Jalen Jones and I'm Jackson State, if I don't see the blitz, I'm holding the ball and I'm looking for a running lane. You don't have to get into the end zone now. You just need to pick up positive yardage.
Right, 2 plays here.
Like, as an experienced quarterback, if you started wondering what you wanted, I want them to blitz me and me to pick it up, because that means I have one-on-one with my best wide receiver. Blitzes mean man-to-man coverage, so I would hope you can bait them in the blitzing so you can get some type of one-on-one matchup and try a 50-50 jump ball with your wide receivers.
Empty backfield. Jones turn around, and it's incomplete. Wanted Baldwin, and again Culpepper over there defending for Alabama State.
This is one that could have been caught. If he was able to free that second hand, that would have been a nice pickup. Here, I think you stress, you throw the ball to the end zone. If you're Jalen Jones and you have to scramble around,
.241 remaining. Jones drops a snap, pressure, and he's going to be sacked. Andrew Ogletree on the sack for Alabama State. Another flag. Fifth sack for the Alabama State defense today.
It was such a bang-bang play. I don't think it could be any type of pass interference down the field. And Ball didn't get released, so it's kind of, I'm curious what this would be. Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
And an automatic first down. Ooh.
Unsportsmanlike. They return the favor, Alabama State.
Was it on the celebration? I mean, great play here.
It's 4th and goal from forever, Jay, after the sack, and then you give him an automatic first. What happened here?
What is that call? What number is it? Something that we missed.
It's so hard. We don't want to speculate. I mean, if that's on Ogletree after that for what he did, I don't understand that. And do you? Are you going to call that?
No, and I'm not going to speculate that was a call because it must have been something.
Right.
That
It
we
must have been
missed and
something
the
else, so we didn't
not
see
working.
it. Yeah, we didn't hear the number.
Nevertheless,
it is first down now for Jackson State. Whistles blow again. It was on Culpepper, number 5. We're hearing the unsportsmanlike.
Previous play
Alabama
is
State.
on the further review.
All right, so it was not on Ogletree after the sack, which exactly because he didn't really do anything. There's 5 Culpepper who were being told that the unsportsmanlike was on, and he's wondering what happened as well. Let's see. I don't know, Jay. I mean, we're gonna try to see what happened here, but I'll be honest. I mean, in a close ball game, a 1-possession game, driving late, and I'm not going to say don't make the right call if somebody shoves somebody or gets in somebody's face. I mean, that's the rule, but I don't know if I necessarily agree too much with the call that was made on Jackson State, and I'm not quite sure we even know or agree with this call here on Alabama State. I mean,
this is the play.
The referees are getting a little bit too involved right now in this game, and it's completely dictating what's going to happen.
And where's the flag? So the flag is back on the 5-yard line. Looked like you saw 2 people jawing, but
After further review, the down has been confirmed. It's first down.
confirming it down. I mean, okay.
Yeah, well,
throw stones right now. There's some football left to be played right now. Let's try and get back to the action. What's happened has happened. Tough on both sides.
I guess that's kind of the way to even it back out, right? I mean, all of a sudden now it's Jackson State ball. 2:28 remaining. First down, down 7 inside the Alabama State red zone. And I'm with you, Jay. Let's play ball here.
And, you know, if you're Alabama State, you were so close to, you know, basically clinching the football victory, but now it's gone. Mistake on your behalf. And Jackson State, you got new signs of life. One-on-one up top with your wide receiver. Get it to him.
Jones on the keeper, and he's inside the 5. And it's a first down run for the quarterback, Jalen Jones. An 11-yard gain, first and goal now.
You must crowd the line of scrimmage right now. You cannot allow Jalen Jones to run for another touchdown. You know they like to call quarterback draw down here, feel comfortable, and let him find a spot. Look out.
It's Alexander, and he's going to be strung out, reaching for the pylon out at the 1-yard line. Let's see here where the mark is going to be. Yep, right at the 1. And Culpepper is banged up for Alabama State, number 5. And he's been involved in a lot here as of late.
This is a good job by Alexander because it appeared as if he was going to be pushed out of bounds around the 3-yard line, but the extra effort, keep the legs going and get to the 1.5-yard line.
crazy stuff going on here in the late stages of this game, huh? 1:49 remaining.
And if Jackson State scores, do they go for two, or do they put the pressure on their field goal team to convert an extra point when we know that Deion Sanders does not feel that comfortable with his extra point team?
Right.
There's a lot of high drama that can take place in this last minute 49. Yeah. Prime time, you keep it interesting. It's been interesting on a weekly basis. How do you get in the end zone? You can't run right up the gut, I don't think. I don't think you can run at 94, 92, 99, 45. Their most successful running play has been running their quarterback, Jalen Jones, off-tackle quarterback draw. A little bit of a long developing play. If you're Alabama State, I think you guess that Jones is going to get this football. You guess. Sell out run blitz. Try and get a tackle for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. But the key is watch big number 94, Christian Clark in black for Alabama State. Can't push him around. 360-pound D tackle.
Jones gets the touchdown. Jalen Jones for Jackson State. And a flag comes in. Hang on. So toss of the ball over the goalpost. Can't do that.
Unsportsmanlike against number 4.
And it's on Jones, yeah, for you can't do that anymore. You're like kind of dunking the ball over the goalpost, and that's what he did. Look at this.
And you take it now. You know, you have the option of taking it on the kickoff, you know, make him kick it from the 20-yard line. I'm surprised they're not taking this now. I would take the penalty right now. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's a mistake. They could have elected to have them kick it from 15 yards further back there. So instead of the 3, could have kicked it from the 18. Instead, they're electing to get the field position on the kickoff. I don't agree with that there.
I see what you're saying, Jay, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, Jay, if there was a time and a team that you're playing, to your point, to say, let's push him back, an extra point is not given. Right now, it's Jackson State, a team that has missed 5 extra points this season. So I agree with you. Now, yeah, maybe they'll get a little bit better field position, but would it be better to be up a point?
To be up a point with the lead, I think that's one where you force them to make that from back further. They've had their kicking struggles there. I'm shaking my head on that one there. You have to take advantage of the mistake that was given to you. It was handed to you on a platter. 15-yard penalty, you don't make them kick it from further back on the extra point on a team that's struggling on extra points. Maybe it'll pay off for them now with the battlefield position, but I would have much rather took my chance at having that lead.
Here's Gray back for the return for Alabama State. Here he goes. Gray to midfield. All right. So we're tied at 28. And now Alabama State has that standing field position. Your point is, don't take it, Jay. I mean, I understand it. I mean, they either could be up a point and it doesn't matter about field position, but now, since it's tied, it does matter, and they have it at midfield. It's their best starting field position of the night.
If you're Ryan Nettles, opportunity to become an instant legend at Alabama State if you can lead your team down to a score or a game-winning field goal.
And this is right after a 14-play drive, the longest of the season for a touchdown for Jackson State this year. And here is Nettles, as you said, redshirt freshman quarterback, second ever collegiate start. He hands out to Gray. Gray's been outstanding tonight. Ezra Gray to the end zone, touchdown.
They took the bait. They were anticipating first down pass. Watch the slot come off the corner. Once he comes off the edge, that's Markel Gladney. There's nobody to fill that vacancy. Offense has the advantage if the blitzing slot backer does not disrupt in the backfield coming from such a far distance. Too much to ask. They blitzed off the slot, anticipating the pass. Gray able to go in and back out to where the blitz was coming from. Make it a foot race.
Hunter Hansen with the extra point is 35-28, a 50-yard touchdown run by Gray. He also has a 45-yard touchdown run. Look at this again.
And once number 5 doesn't get there, he was supposed to blitz, and it's not putting that on him. That's a risk you take when you decide to bring an extra man. And I'm glad he was not able to get there. Gray, a home run hitting running back, is going to make you pay. That separates the good ones from the great ones. And Ezra Gray with a career night tonight.
Coach Prime, they got time here, right?
Give me a sec. Let me do this. I openly question why they didn't take that penalty after the PAT when you could have been up by 1 and probably sensed it, but they took advantage. They had their coaches back. They got good field position, got the ball on the 50-yard line, and scored right away to justify the decision.
Well said, Jay. And now almost muffing the kickoff return here for Jackson State, and now they are going to go to work with 1:27 to go and down by 7 with 2 timeouts remaining. It was Kamani Clark there that was able to cover it back up. Now it's Jones' turn. What a job he has done, especially in the second half, rushing the ball. 2 rushing touchdowns, 79 yards on the ground, 178 through the air, and they begin work at the 26. Four wide receiver set. Jones. Pass is broken up and almost intercepted. Wanted Corey Reed, and James Burgess was there for the breakup.
You see the defensive coordinator, Travis Pearson, and this is a great break on the ball by this young freshman. James Burgess, just a baby. True freshman. Guarding some great wide receivers and doing a good job holding his own.
Play fake. Jones up top, and it's incomplete. A little low there, intended for Baldwin. And it's going to be 3rd and 10.
You need to get a first down. Don't go for the home run. And the one thing keeping Alabama State uneasy, their most successful defense has been when they blitz the quarterback and collapse the pocket. However, this is not a situation in which you want to do that. So when you play zone, Jalen Jones has been effective running the football. If I'm Jalen Jones, if somebody's not coming wide open, I'm looking for a place to take off.
Pressure, and he has to throw it away, and it's going to be 4th down and 10. And you can see Coach Sanders is saying, hey, settle down. But now, Jay, 4th and 10 here. And to your point, you got to get the first down.
Got to get the first down. That's why have that clock go in your head, find an escape route. If he'd have picked up 6, 7, 8 yards, he was in contention to make this a lot easier. But now it's going to be the ball game right here. If you don't get it here, and you have to be mindful, if you do elect to run, how much room do you have?
Their top target today has been Corey Reed. And a pass is incomplete. And we're going for Baldwin, and he draws a flag.
On the curl route, on a comeback route, pass interference. Now, it looked like great coverage, but maybe the coverage was too good.
Pass interference. Defense, number 36. Spot foul, automatic first down.
Bailed out on a 4th and 10. It's actually 35. Jeffrey Scott. Yeah.
Yep. He doesn't make a play on the football. And it was a bailout call, but it was the right call because he did not make a play on the football.
Now Jones on the keeper. And Coach Prime says we got to go here. 50 seconds to go. 2nd down and 4. Gain of 6. 2 timeouts remaining for Jackson State.
He didn't get out of bounds.
He's not. Warren Newman.
Use a timeout.
Clock is running.
Got to use a timeout now in this situation.
There's the timeout with 38 seconds to go. 3rd down and 2. Yeah, that's kind of how we all feel, right, Jay? Unbelievable here in the late stages of this game, what we're seeing.
Yeah, you wonder what penalty flag is going to come next.
Right.
I hate to say it like that, but, you know, you almost want to let the game be decided on the field. And I think there are certain points in which some questionable calls on both teams in the balancing act. I think you have to continue to play soft zone coverage, though. Manage the clock. You want to try and force them to throw the ball in the middle of the field, use their timeout. If you're Alabama State, you have to know they have to get into the end zone. So that being the case, nothing gets behind you. You don't jump on the ball unless you're absolutely sure. You keep it in front and make your tackles.
Jones. Pass is incomplete, looking for Newman. It's going to be 4th and 2. Clock is at 38 seconds.
The gunslinger in me says the only way you stop them from getting this is because they're going to run the ball. I mean, quarterback draw is coming if you want to blitz it, but no, you knew it was coming.
He said it. There it is. Jones gets away and he gets out of bounds. Right on cue, Jay.
I mean, yeah, you knew they were going to run quarterback draw. I would have blitzed it with my best run blitz there and left myself a little exposed, but had some safeties deep. The 52 came on, peeled off a little bit late. Austin Bunn did.
From the 44, Jones. The pass is intercepted. Picked off by Jeffrey Scott, and that's going to do it.
Let's make sure there are no flags, Mike. Let's make sure there are no penalties.
Well, he was the one called for the flag on the pass interference to keep this drive alive for Jackson State, and now he ends the game and redeems himself and for his team on a game-winning pick.
Running the comeback route, able to get inside, ball thrown a little bit too far inside, and let's give credit too. Let's not take us out of perspective. The fact that Alabama State has beat Jackson State again is one thing, but how about this win for the Hornets over the 21st ranked team in the country?
Big win for them. They've now won 6 of the last 7. And Jackson State, which is trying to go to 4-0 for the first time since 1996. Not going to happen here tonight. And congrats to Alabama State with this hard-fought win. A lot happened in this 4th quarter. And it's all said and done. 35-28 the final, Jay.
Hey. Magic City Classic may mean something like it always does, with a hard-fought ball game by both teams.
We hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. For Jay Walker, Mike Corey, so long from Montgomery, Alabama. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Now it's time for UFC.
As I say,